so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch, you Dracula. Southern draw vernacular, flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this word up on my scapula. I've been on the road so long, my tires bald. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch, I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest car. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber, that boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side, jigging since the knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respecting no Aretha. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair wrong, black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form, you cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnival, this shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit. You niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the matchstick. You niggas Nickelodeon me, I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in front of me. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters the fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's. Food, no cap and gowns, but we all had the master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Backwards in the air, back up in her ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over easy. Even my masseuses can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next. Soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex. I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learned from your lessons. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turn this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me run play, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at fact. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh wax, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I am your host, BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the share, hit the subscribe as well, hit the Cash App. $SlickRick1990 is our Cash App. If you guys want to donate to the Pull Up Show, make sure you guys do that by going straight to our Cash App. If you guys are fans of the show, be sure to share it with your family and friends, all social media platforms. If you guys like any of the show, be free to come on the panel. All right? Be free to come on the panel and engage and enjoy and interact with the people. We got a good show for y'all today, man. If y'all in the comments, section. Let me go ahead and read the comments. Let me know that y'all are in here. Salute to Gabe Moore. My man Gabe Moore says, "Hey BJ." All right, I gotta give a shout out to him. David Rosca, what's up? What's up, the guys? It's all about the Clippers. It's all about the Clippers. God appreciate you. Zipmo1 says, as a huge Kawhi fan, I feel a significant amount of blame should be on him. Kawhi wasn't assertive or aggressive enough, in my humble opinion. I think he should have figured it out to take no less than 22 shots per game. All right, everybody that's in the building. Shout out to my man Dom. Frank Hefner says, "BJ, what's up, baby? What's good, bro? How you doing, brother?" So we gotta get the likes up, man. Get the likes up so we get more people interacting. All right, that's how it works here on YouTube. The more people like the video, the more people get a chance to get the notifications to come in here. That's called algorithms. All right, let's make sure we do that. Do our due diligence on that. But let's get into it, man. We're gonna talk about it again. This is called Hell Week. We are continually have Hell Week. We got probably another episode tomorrow if I choose to do one. But I pretty much I pretty much have so much to kind of touch on, because at the end of the day, and make sure you guys vote in that and on that panel too. Vote on the panel about how much blame should Kawhi Leonard get. It's right there in the chat box. Make sure you guys cash in y'all vote. But I'm continuously do this Hell Week because, like I mentioned, there's a lot of stuff to go around, a lot of blame to go around because of the embarrassment the Clippers suffered at the hands of the Denver Nuggets, who just won last night, taking a 2-1 lead over the OKC Thunder. All right. I got that series going 6 games. If Denver turns out to win tomorrow, then I think they'll win. They'll close out in Denver in game 6. I think OKC will beat them in game 5, and then Denver will close them out in game 6. If the games are close, I will look to Denver to pull the games out more times than not, because as I was watching OKC last night, their offense seems to be very ball dominant with SGA and Jalen Williams, who I thought should have got more of the opportunity to score down the stretch of the game. But they went with SGA and Isaiah Hartenstein missing those 3 floaters, which he looked very uncomfortable shooting. And then you look at, they didn't have Alex Caruso in. They didn't have Chet Holmgren until I think a minute within the overtime, when the Nuggets already went to like a 5-0 run or 7-0 run, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't mean to go too off track, but Denver is a damn good team. That's why I'm pretty much putting out there. But let's continue this. I got somebody on my show yesterday, or a few people on my show, who was speaking upon when we're talking about James Harden, basically how many people are going to get tricked by him. And we had a grand time yesterday. I think we were live for like 6 hours. I let the people come on the live, and it was a long live. There was somebody in the comments said, when are y'all going to have the video about Kawhi Leonard? And I told him tomorrow, which was today. So here we are talking about Kawhi Leonard and his blame that he gets for what happened against the Denver Nuggets. And not just the Denver Nuggets, based off of the Clippers' tenure for 5 years. Okay? Now, before I get started, when I talk about blame and I talk about who's responsible, like I mentioned yesterday, a lot of people just want to sit up there and just want to blame him because they want to pretty much go out and say stupid shit and be like, well, let's put it on him because he's the best player, or let's put it on him because he's the claw, he's a Terminator. Why don't he get blamed? So I'm not listening to that. I know that they're in the comments. I know that. I skipped the comment specifically, and he knows who he is. I skipped his comment personally because I'm not doing dumb stuff like that. See, anytime I hear stuff that doesn't make sense that people want to troll, I'm not going to even give you the acknowledgement, because and I could tell a troll because a person got all day in the comments to talk, but instead of articulating their opinion and coming on the panel, they'll continuously just want to troll. I get these people in my comments, they'll listen for like 4 hours on the live, 3 hours on the live. Then when they come at the end of the show, talking about, where's that Kawhi heat? Where's that Kawhi heat at? That's a troll. I don't do trolls. Trolls belong in the chat. So continuously watch. I appreciate the support, but I'm not giving you no acknowledgement. But how much blame does Kawhi Leonard get for losing against Denver, and how much blame does he get for what has happened the last 5 seasons with the Clippers? So if I look at what has happened with the Clippers and what Kawhi Leonard did, I want to go into basically the numbers he averaged. I want to go into the moments and the games he played. I want to talk about everything that he did in a nutshell, game by game, so we can get a real evaluation of what Kawhi Leonard did and did not do enough for them to get past Denver. Now, the Clippers went 7 games with Denver, and in those 7 games, Kawhi Leonard averaged 25 points, 7.6 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 2.1 3-pointers made, and a 63% true shooting percentage. All right, those are Kawhi Leonard's numbers game by game. All right, those are his numbers game by game. So I put this up here a lot of times, this screenshot, and I do that for a big specific reason. When I started doing this and started doing these type of shows where I'm trying to, break stuff down, my style is to put it on the screen because see, anybody can just sit there and just talk about it and put it out there in the universe and talk about, oh, this is what it is. But are you going to put it on the screen for people to see it? Are you going to put it on the screen for people to acknowledge it? Are you going to put it on the screen for people to understand it? Because a lot of times people really don't get it until they actually see it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'll say about that. But these are Kawhi Leonard's numbers, game by game. I want to go through specific games, and if you watch the series, you understand, what's being broken down. So let's actually go through the stat muse. So if you look at games 1 through 7, right? The first game Kawhi Leonard played 41 minutes. The Clippers lost this game. This was the game they lost by, I believe, 2 points. And Kawhi played 41 minutes. He had 22 points. He had 6 rebounds. He had 2 assists, right? He had 3 steals, right? He had 3 steals. He went 9 for 15 from the field, which was 60%. He went 1 for 3 from the 3, which was 33%. He made all of his free throws 100%. He had 6 rebounds, and he had 7 turnovers. Okay. Now, the biggest highlight, again, is that 7 turnover mark, right? When you had 7 turnovers, that was the conversation of what really cost them the game, right? Having 7 turnovers for Kawhi Leonard is uncharacteristic. If you look at the other 6 games, you don't see no more than 2 turnovers at one of those games. So Kawhi Leonard had a terrible game as far as taking care of the basketball, right? And I'm gonna give emphasis on what I'm going through like this because see, people don't, when they say they see the words 25 points per game, 7 rebounds, 4.7 assists, it's not enough for them. They still say he should have did more. Okay, so we gotta look at what else could he have done. Well, in game 1, he could have took care of the ball more. Does that, now if you take care of the ball more, what happens? That gives your team more opportunities to convert on possessions. So Kawhi got the majority of that game. He got the bulk of blame on that game. The things that he did well, though, he shot the ball over 50%. He shot 60% from the field. He shot 33% from the 3 and 100% from the line. So outside of 3-point shooting, he shot exceptionally well from the field. He snagged 6 rebounds, which is average, which is good. Right? So first game, you probably can give him like a C because as bad as he was turning over the basketball, he was actually good shooting the basketball, but he didn't get enough shots up. He got 15 shots up. That's something else that I think people are looking at, like, why didn't he get more shots up? Right? So we'll put blame on Kawhi on that game 1. We'll put blame on that. Game 2, What Kawhi Leonard do? That's when he had that 39 points in 39 minutes, right? He had 39 points in 39 minutes that game. If y'all see what is going on, a lot of times when Kawhi Leonard has a game like that, or tends to have a game where he plays bad or he doesn't, close the deal, he'll come back the next game and just pretty much dominate. And that's what happened. 15 for 19 from the field, 78%. Majority of those were jump shots. 4 for 7 from the three-point line, 57%. Hit all of his free throws. You know what I'm saying? Had 1 turnover, had 3 rebounds. So that second game, he was the best player on the court. You give him an A. Just off of his shot making alone, you give him an A off of that. So you got a guy that had a very average to below average game, first game, and then the second game he kind of has an exceptional game. The Clippers they're tied 1-1 going back to LA. Right? As y'all come there and smash that like button. So you go through game 2, you're going to go to game 3. Game 3, they back to LA. They win by, I believe, they up by 34 points. They win that game by a huge margin, right? They come back home, they dominate in game 3. He had 21 points, 11 rebounds, double-double. Yeah, he shot 7 for 17 from the field, 41%, which is below average for him. He went 50% from the 3. He went 80% from the line. Right? He snagged 11 rebounds as well. He snagged 11 rebounds and he had 21 points. Right? No, he only had 2 turnovers. But the Clippers they were pretty much beat him so bad that basically the stats really doesn't even show everything like the individual stats. They pretty much dominated the Nuggets. Right? So individually, Kawhi Leonard pretty much did what he was supposed to do offensively and defensively. Even though his shot wasn't like over the top, he snagged 11 rebounds. Right? I was at that game as well. He was actually on the glass. He was getting boards. Right? That's the game he did that nice crossover dribble to attack the paint. Right? So, I'll give Kawhi Leonard like a B in that game. B, a B, C. Right? So those are two out of 3 games he played very well in. The first 3 games, that's when the Clippers had all the momentum. That's when the Clipper fans said the Clippers are going to probably beat this team in 5 games because of the way they were playing. Y'all come there, smash that like button. Right? That was them first 3 games were the first 3 games, games 1, 2, and 3. The Clippers had all the momentum to win that game. Right? So you go into the game 4, he plays 40 minutes, right? He plays 40 minutes. And on 40 minutes, he had 24 points. He had 9 rebounds, right? He had 2 assists and 2 steals. Like I said, I'm looking at not just the offensive side, but I'm looking at the defense. Game 1, he had 3 steals. Game 2, he had 2 steals. Game 4, he had 2 steals. Right? Field goal percentage 45% from the field, which is very good. Or actually, it's good. It's not super good, but it's good. 45%. 3-point percentage 40%. Good. Free throws 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Not good. You know what I'm saying? Showing 3 free throws and only making 2 of them. Not good. He had 9 rebounds that game. He had 2 turnovers. So game 4, you can look at Kawhi and be like, from what you're seeing is like you're not seeing like the 30-point game performances. You're not seeing the 60-70% field goal percentage shooting. You're not seeing that at a high clip. You're seeing him do the other things. You're seeing him, be on the defensive side of the ball, and you're seeing him rebound the basketball. Right? So, game 4, did he play bad? Nah, he didn't play bad. I mean, he's been playing. If you look at the first 4 games, he's playing pretty much consistent. I mean, the games 2 to 4, you can say he's played his best games, but he's really just being consistent throughout the first 4 games. He's doing what he's actually scouting the game to see how much he should take. Should he be more of a guy to let everybody else eat? Should he take over? Should he look to get on the glass? Should he look to play defense? Like, he's looking to do, what is he going to be doing on the court to make his impact? Right? Because the first 4 games, the only game that I heard people really get on Kawhi about up until this point was game 1. And that's why I'm seeing with this when I'm looking at not just the stats, but when I watch the games, his aggressiveness really wasn't. He didn't really have any games where he wasn't aggressive up until game 4. Right? They got that. They lost that game on that tip dunk. Right? Nobody really had much to say about Kawhi outside of game 1 up until this point. So where does the twist and the turn comes? Well, after the Clippers lost last game 4, you saw when the team actually kind of started losing momentum. We got 40 people. We should have over 40 likes in here. Let's get these likes up. Ain't Jamal Murray had 42 that game? No, he had 42 in game 5. We're about to get into that right now. Game 4, that was the tip dunk. Salute, Mad Max. Let me get to Kawhi gets too much blame to not take all the blame. See, you're gonna have to explain to me what that means. So what you saying? Are you saying that he has to pretty much go out there and give you 30, 35 points a game and basically do it on the defensive end as well? Because I remember Jokic getting paid just as much as Kawhi, and he pretty much played inefficient the entire series outside of one game, and he was an actual bad person defensively. So to say that he gets the blame because he doesn't gets paid, that's somebody that didn't really watch the series. I'm literally going down to every single game by default. See, comments like this is why I ignore some certain people, because it's like they don't watch the game; they just want to sit up there and troll. This guy, I've been seeing this guy on my chat for I don't know how long. Never gets on the pound, never explains his point. Just sits up there and trolls. But it's all good, bro. Man, fifth flow. But getting blitzed in that series, what more can Kawhi do? I'm getting to that point. Good morning, BJ. How you doing? He said, nah, Jokic actually played a little D and mostly. Nah, Jokic got attacked. Jokic gets hidden. He gets targeted. The reason why Denver, even last night, the reason why Denver keeps getting attacked at the rim is because of him. Because he can't guard the basket. That's the model to defeat Denver, is to attack Jokic. So his defense he's a liability defensively. You have to hide him. Even when he's in help side, he's an average help side defender, but you can target him. And Zubac actually pretty much held his weight against Jokic. He really couldn't do nothing with Zubac offensively, and he made it hard on Jokic defensively. So, Jokic gets targeted at that rim. But let's go into game 5. So game 5, Jamal Murray had 43 points. He was the best player in that game. By far, he had a Jamal Murray game. That was the first game he actually really came alive in. Game 2, Jamal Murray was solid. Game 4, Jamal Murray was not good. And game 3, he was good in the first quarter. But Jamal Murray came out alive in that game 5. Now, what did Kawhi do? 24 points, 9 rebounds. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. So Kawhi was close to having a triple-double in that game 5. See, that's why I'm getting to the point. What are you doing? Are you doing other things on the court? When you got 20 points and 9 rebounds and 11 assists, you almost have a triple-double. When you shoot 8 for 15 from the field, that's 53%. When you shoot 1 for 4 from the 3, that's 25%. That's not good. When you shoot 3 for 7 from the free throw line, 42%. So if you look at the shooting splits, 53, 25, and 42, those are not good shooting splits for Kawhi Leonard. I think his efficiency was not good. See, we're so used to seeing Kawhi giving you, like, in the playoffs, 60% from the field and like 40, from the three and like 85% from the line, that anything below that, Kawhi Leonard basically didn't play how he's supposed to play. But these shooting splits Kawhi had 53, 25, 42, those are not good shooting splits. That's bad shooting splits. Right? Turnovers. He did have one turnover. Right? But the main highlight is he almost had a triple-double that game. So and again, this is in Denver. This is where the altitude is. But what I'm seeing, especially these first 5 games, is Kawhi having to play both ends of the ball at an elite level. And see, that's just not done in the NBA. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's playing as to play the best offensive and the best defensive player. And then you got to account for the assists. You got to ask yourself a question. What was him trying to get 11 assists for? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell who was the point guard, him or James Harden. I don't know who the point guard was in that game 5, but it was unusual that he was having to do all the playmaking as well. But I'll give Kawhi like a C that game. It's a lot of good performances, but outside of game 2, he didn't have like a stellar performance. There wasn't no games he had like a stellar performance. Game 6, he had a very good performance. Right? They back to LA. They got 27 points to 10 rebounds. Kawhi Leonard was dominant on the glass, and he was dominant scoring the basketball. He shot 50% from the field. He didn't shoot good from the 3. He shot 25%. He shot 3 for 4 from the free throw line, which is 75%. He grabbed, like I said, he grabbed 10 rebounds. He had 1 turnover. So he took care of the ball. He had good shooting splits. He had a double-double, 27 and 10. He had 5 assists, which is, solid. Not crazy, but it's solid. So game 6, I'll give him a B. I don't really see no games. He's just playing. He's like non-existent, like 10 points and 8 points and 6. I don't see none of that. I see very consistent games with one great game. Right? And then game 7, we know what happened game 7. 22 points, which was the team high, 6 for 13 from the field, which is 46%, 2 for 4 from the 3, 50%, 8 for 9 from the free throw, 89%, 88%. Right? 5 rebounds, 1 turnover. So game 7 was just simply Kawhi doing good in the first half, being aggressive in the first half. But then when Denver started catching hot and when that crowd got involved and when he personally saw that no one was coming with him, like Charles Barkley said, he said they pretty much just packed it in. Norman Powell had an off game. He had 9 points. We know what James Harden did. He had 7 points. Right? Derrick Jones Jr. was the main bright spot in the first quarter. Nicholas Batum had a bad game. Bogdan Bogdanovic was non-existent. Right? Chris Dunn, you know what I'm saying? After he got benched, he pretty much was non-existent. Missed a layup, a wide open layup when he checked into the game. So a lot of stuff you can really point at that was going wrong in game 7. So let's just do this. I know that was a lot, but I had to go through game by game to really make y'all see what was going on. So now that you've heard every game and what you have heard as far as what he did and what he did not do, now we can look so more at the raw stats. If we look at let's do this as well. Because I want to pull something up too. And as y'all come here, smash that like button for your boy. I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna pull something else up for y'all to see that I should have had pulled up already, but I'm gonna pull it up right now. Okay, we're gonna do this. All right, so I'm gonna take this off, and we're gonna do this like make it simple. So what y'all see right here is the stats throughout the series, right? Now we just heard Kawhi Leonard's stats. We heard what he did. We heard what his impact was. So now we can see on a wide spread on who did what. Because again, this goes back to how much blame Kawhi should get. Should he get 25%? Should he get more than half? Should he get half the blame? Should he get more than half the blame? Right? Should he get pretty much close to all the blame? That's what we're looking at right now. Now, what I keep hearing as well is the person that should get a lot of blame before we even get to the players, the more person that we should get a lot of the blame is these two. The guy on the left, Lawrence Frank, building the roster that he built, which it was, and coming into the year, it was a heavy dependent defensive roster. We knew this coming into the season that the Clippers lacked offensive and lacked scoring. So when you come into a series like Denver, who is a high potent offense, top 5, and then defensively they showed themselves with that zone defense. It seemed like they found another, level in defense after doing that. Now you can look at Lawrence Frank and be like, okay, what is this? When you see Derrick Jones Jr. outside of the first quarter not making much of an offensive impact, who could be very streaky. When you got Chris Dunn, who is streaky as well when he can't hit outside perimeter shots. When you got a guy like Nicholas Batum, who has spot moments where he, even last the other game where he didn't hit a lot of shots. There's a lot of specialists on this team, but there's not enough all-around players on this team. And then you got Ty Lue, who's choosing to play certain players and overlook others. A guy like Amir Coffey, like I mentioned before the series started, could have helped the team drastically because you got a 3-point shooter, catch and shoot, and a guy that can attack gaps, and a guy who can shoot the midi. But you decided to roll with, Derrick Jones and Chris Dunn's and stuff like that. See, every series is going to be a different type of series. You might use Amir Coffey in one, and then another. Well, actually, no. Amir Coffey could play in pretty much any series because of his size, and he can play both ways. I don't care what the statistics talking about. He had a low plus minus and stuff like that. Amir Coffey is a 6'7" wing who has his length alone can allow him to guard certain positions if you just put him at positions 1 through 3. Now, when you start having him guard 4s and 5s or 4s and power 4s that are 3 inches taller than him, who can shoot right over him and probably like 20 or 30 pounds strong, then of course he's going to be a disadvantage. But if you put him at his regular positions between positions 2 to 3, he's perfectly fine. But based off of the series, Ty Lue has a lot of blame to go first, so we can start there. Rotations, players not in the game, we can put a lot of that on him. But if we focus on the team and what they did on the court, on a statistical level first, because we all watched the series, Kawhi Leonard led them in scoring with 25 points a game. With 25 points a game, right? That's a 7-point, like I said, that's a 7-point difference from the second leading scorer, which was James Harden. Then you got a Ivica Zubac who had 17 points per game. You had Norman Powell with 16 points. So the top 4 guys had double figures. Now, you can sit there and say that, okay, that's fine. Like, if you want to, like Kawhi had 25 points a game, nobody else had more than 20 points per game. Okay, whatever. That's perfectly fine. But against a team like Denver, you're going to have to be able to score the basketball. The reason I got so much on Harden yesterday is because, at least we all saw it, he did not show up in Game 7 at all. He was non-existent. He was non-existent in Game 4. He had 11 points in that game. Oh, I'm sorry, Game 5. I'm sorry. The blowout that the Clippers had when Jamal had 43 points, James Harden 11 points. And people will go to, what about the assists? The assists account. They do account for something. And that's something that maybe I need to emphasize more with James Harden. He averaged 9.1 assists in the series. But a lot of that goes to that 13 assists he had in Game 7, which he wasn't being aggressive. All he was doing, because the offense he plays in, he tends to have the ball stick to him, and then he'll just throw the ball at somebody around the last second to hit a shot, and they count the assist to him. The impact of his assist didn't carry no weight in Game 7. I just want people to understand that. Little to no weight. But let's stick on Kawhi real quick. The way I measure if he could have did more is based off of not just his statistics alone, but what type of defenses was he getting? What type of attention was he getting? What type of coverages was he getting? Was he getting singly covered? Was he getting doubled? Was he having being guarded by the best player? Yada yada yada. Well, we know his matchup was primarily Aaron Gordon. That's their best on-ball defender. That's their best defender, period. That was the guy who was signed on Kawhi Leonard. We know the guy that started on James Harden was Chris Brown. And then Russell Westbrook off the bench. And then Peyton Watson was on Kawhi as well. So Kawhi got the toughest matches. We understand that. And we understand that he got doubled and thrown double teams at him multiple times. More than anybody on the team, rightfully so. Norman Powell, his matchup was primarily Jamal Murray. And Norman Powell's another one, didn't have a great series outside of Game 6. So there's a lot of blame that can go around, but how much blame would you give a person who is the best offensive player scoring the ball and the best defensive player? Now, they lost the series, so it's easy to say he should have did more. Okay, what could he have done more? Shot the ball more? Could he have shot more shots? Yeah, I think he can shoot more shots. And I'll put the blame on that. Should Kawhi Leonard have shot, instead of 16 shots, go for 22, 25 shots? Yeah. Should Kawhi Leonard maybe have took it upon himself to close in the clutch moments outside of putting it on somebody like James Harden to control the offense? Yes. Should Kawhi Leonard have got to his spots earlier in certain instances of the series instead of waiting for the double team to collapse on him? Yes. All the things that's on Kawhi is basically those things. That's the minimal parts on Kawhi. He could have been more assertive shooting the basketball. He could have got double teams quicker, and he could have taken it upon himself to close in the moments instead of pretty much deferring to James Harden. Because when you defer to James Harden, Game 7 happened. When you defer to Norman Powell, Game 7 happened. So that's where I will put the blame on Kawhi Leonard, but that's all the blame I put on him. I don't put blame on him for his effort. I don't put blame on him for missing defensive assignments. I don't put blame on him for when he's in the game playing winning basketball. I don't put blame on him for not showing up. I don't put blame on him for none of that. The core things that go into a playoff series, what understanding the moment, I don't put no blame on him because I understood he came to play and he outplayed the other team's best player. And he had the more difficult matchup on the team, and he still dominated his matchup more than what our two other scorers who have been. One is the leading scorer on the team, and the other one was the leading scorer up until he got hurt. Like I mentioned yesterday, James Harden and Norman Powell pretty much did the same thing, except one guy, James Harden, was the point guard and he assisted the basketball. But the reason why I can't go for that is because you were the leading scorer this regular season, and a lot of times that will happen. His season production will blind people when it comes to the postseason. If you average 22 points in a regular season and your average dropped to 18 points, that's nothing to flex about. You're supposed to raise your game, not decrease it. Norman Powell too. You went from 21 points per game in the regular season to 16 points in the playoffs. That's not a flex. That's what you call two people that did not show up when they needed to show up. And then when you look at the game by game log with James Harden and Norman Powell, matter of fact, let's do that real quick. Let's look at something real quick. I want to look at the game log. Well, because we don't have too much time. I'm gonna stick to Kawhi. But when you look at the game log amongst those two, you'll see what I'm talking about. Where both of them they didn't do enough, and I would start with them first. Kawhi Leonard, he went from what he averaged 20. What he averaged in the regular season? 20, 21 points per game. He raised that to 25 in the postseason. He raises his game in the playoffs. He doesn't decrease it. Now, it didn't raise up to what we used to see with Kawhi Leonard, like 30 points, but like 50, 40, 88 shooting splits, which is not normal. But as far as raising it up to a star level, he really did that. And then on the defensive end, I keep bringing up the defensive end. Look at the defensive end of the basketball, what he had to actually do as far as who he guarded, the people that he was asked to guard down the stretch of games like Jamal Murray. You're asking them to do both. And then the player, Aaron Gordon, I know somebody was talking about this as well. They said he was the best player. Aaron Gordon, what he do? Let me put up his numbers real quick. And I'm not just going by simply numbers. I'm talking about basically just his production. I think what people mean when they say Aaron Gordon was the best player against the Clippers, I think that he had the most important moment when he had that tip dunk. But as we just saw with Kawhi, like it's a certain level of consistency that he has. Hold on one second. I'm gonna let y'all in after this. Let me take this off the screen so y'all can see. Because somebody said it was Aaron Gordon dominating over Kawhi. Aaron Gordon averaged 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, right? He was a starter just like Kawhi Leonard, and there were games he played more minutes than Kawhi Leonard. 36, 41, 37, 43, 32, 38, 46. I mean, outside of games 5, when Jamal pretty much went crazy, that the Nuggets were blowing them the hell out. I mean, or I'm sorry, game 3 when they were getting blown out. He pretty much like he played more minutes than Kawhi in every single of those games, or around the same amount of minutes, and yet you still only average 18 points per game. So you weren't the best player. You got the most important moment with that tip dunk, but you didn't dominate your matchup. Kawhi actually is the one that dominated his matchup more so than the other way around. There were certain spots in the game where Aaron Gordon was, put his will up against, but this whole Aaron Gordon was bullying Kawhi, and Aaron, like that's nowhere was that seen as all. It was basically like I said, spot moments where Aaron Gordon had his impact. So he had Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in front of him as far as production. So he was basically playing a role. Like he's been playing a role with Denver since he really came. He ain't asked to do what Kawhi Leonard's asked to do. So it's not even comparable. You compare Kawhi Leonard to Nikola Jokic. That's who you compare Kawhi Leonard to. So I just wanted to bring that up real quick. Here's the thing. The numbers I looked at and the production I seen from Kawhi Leonard was somebody who was not over the top, over the hill, great. And this is why people continuously say he didn't do enough. They don't say he played bad. They say he didn't do enough. Right? So basically doing enough would basically mean him having to give about extra 5 points a game, around 30 points per game. Maybe a couple more rebounds, probably around 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? And then giving around, I don't know, 5 to 6 assists. I mean, 25 points ain't enough. I need more. So you need more. That again goes to the point I made. Okay, if you need more, that means somebody who's not showing up how they're supposed to show up. If you need more than that, and the Nuggets, look, Nikola Jokic's best player, Jamal Murray, came with him, right? They averaged somewhere around the same amount of points. I think Jamal averaged 22, Nikola Jokic averaged 23. Right, close in proximity. His third option averaged 18 points a game. Right? Now this is where the little trick comes in. This is coming from first, second, and third option. When you rate the two first options, Kawhi Leonard and Nikola Jokic, who had the better series, it was Kawhi Leonard. When you rate the two second options at the better series between James Harden and Jamal Murray, I want y'all to think really, really hard who y'all thought had the better series between Jamal Murray and James Harden. Who had the big moments in the big games? Game 5, Jamal Murray dropped 43 points in a pivotal Game 5, the game that they needed. Game 6, James Harden had dropped 28 points. Game 1, James Harden had a great first half. In game 2, Jamal Murray had a great second half. So you can really go back and forth between who had the better series. One guy, James Harden, is known for his playmaking. The other guy, Jamal Murray, is known for his shot making and having in big moments in big games. Defensively, they both had their bright spots. Not known for too many defenders. Not known for being defenders. But what I'm saying is the second options, Jamal Murray and James Harden, you can go back and forth at the better series. Get the third option between Zubac and Aaron Gordon, who had the better series. Well, that's a toss up because Zubac had the hardest job guarding Nikola Jokic, and defensively, Aaron Gordon had the hard job guarding Kawhi Leonard. They both got double teamed at times. And offensively, they put out their production as well. So that's a toss up between those two. So the point I'm getting at is, if we're going to say that Kawhi Leonard should have done more, but he clearly outplayed Nikola Jokic, and I know people are going to say, well, Nikola Jokic played. No, he didn't. He didn't shoot better from the field than Kawhi. He didn't outscore Kawhi. He wasn't as consistent as Kawhi throughout the entirety of the series. And then defensively, he wasn't doing defensively what Kawhi was doing as well. So I don't know how much percentage people expect Kawhi to do, but all I'm hearing is, when he didn't do enough, is that they want him to basically go into almost damn near Hulkamania mode. And that's what I think a lot of people have gotten spoiled with when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, because they're so used to seeing all the magnificent, crazy playoff runs, that when he plays actually a very good series, very consistent series, it's like, well, damn, what happened when he comes down to earth? I mean, forget the numbers situation. Just look at it's more so about consistency. Never had a game he scored less than 20 points. There were games where he had 3 games where he had 4 games where he had almost 10. He had 2 of them he had over 10 rebounds, and then the other 2 he had less than less than 2 rebounds. So he's attacking the glass. He had a game where he had 11 assists, so he's assisting the basketball. He was consistent on the defensive end with his matchups, so he's not getting exploited on defense. So, how much blame I give Kawhi Leonard? The blame I give him is simply just, I guess, not being more selfish enough with the basketball. I mean, I guess that's the blame I would give him. But as far as him not doing his job and pulling his weight, I think we got to look at the others more than before we look at him. And that's just a real statement. I mean, I put up the numbers. Y'all saw the game by game. Y'all saw the game 7 performance. It was tied 3-3, and then you just need one more game to advance. That is the game that you're supposed to come along. If there's nothing else you heard from me, here it is. Game 7 is supposed to be the game everybody comes along. That's the game right there. And if you don't come along in a game 7, that exposes you of what your level of play is in those type of moments. So I'm going to put him. I'm going to put this on. At the end of the day, I'm gonna put this basically. I'm gonna put this basically like I said. If you got a real stance on what you're saying, then get on the panel. If you don't, and you just want to sit and be in the comment section, I'm not going to acknowledge it. Let me look at some of these comments. He said people were saying that they don't want him assist as James' job. It is. I don't mind Kawhi having to do that one game, but like stuff like that, that's stuff that I look at it and be like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, why is it that he's having to give you 11 assists? If somebody has to go solo out of character to assist the ball like that, I gotta look at what else the person's main job to be doing. I gotta look at that. That's why I look at. If I gotta see somebody get 10 rebounds, I gotta look at, okay, let me look at what's going on with Zubac. What's going on with our other big? So Tyson said y'all heard my take yesterday. Oh yeah, I appreciate you. I know that you came up here, bro. I ain't talking about you. I just don't like the dumb stuff. He did clearly outplay him. He outplayed him from the shooting splits. He outplayed him on the defensive end, and he dominated his matchup more. That's outplaying. Jokic on against Zubac gave him resistance. Jokic is the one who didn't come to do his job. He was the one that looked more so out of sync than what Kawhi looked like. That he was clearly the best player in that series. V World said, "Sup, BJ, good for us, man. Fight for the Clippers, fight GM, fire Todd." Yeah, I want to do all that, but it's probably not going to work because a lot of these dudes don't want to. They're not going to come. They're not going to. They're not going to make moves how they're supposed to make them. He said Jokic's teammates did more to win the series than Kawhi's did. Facts, and that's pretty much where it starts, ends, and begins. If you're gonna tell me that somebody else's played better, if Jokic played better, then why more so if his teammates had to help him? That was obvious. That's something that we can't dispute. He got more assistance from his teammates, not just in the starting five, but off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like that just pretty much puts it away that Kawhi outplayed him because Jokic's teammates helped him and system more. And they're doing it right now. Hell, even last night, Jokic played. What did he shoot like 0 for 8 from the 0 for 10 from the 3-point line? See, a lot of people are starting to see. A lot of people are starting to see Jokic has teammates. I never got that whole thing with Jokic basically has no teammates, bro. Jokic literally cost them that game last night. It was Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon that saved his ass. Right? So, and that was a lot during our series where Jokic would pretty much have games where he pretty much damn near, like, I'm talking about inefficient, bad on defense, bad in the clutch, just throwing the game away. We saw that on full display. Like, how do you go 0 for 10 from the three, and then how do you give up 8 turnovers? That's what it is. So that's exactly what he was doing in the Clippers series. He was getting saved by his teammates. Russell Westbrook took game 1. Russell Westbrook helped him in game 7. He took pretty much 2 games. Jamal Murray helped him in game 5. In game 4 is Aaron Gordon with that tip dunk. So, nah, he was never the best player in the series. I know that some of y'all Jokic and Knights want to talk different, but I mean, nothing really matches it. He was mid. The Clippers got a squad, though. Most of us had them with the best chance of coming out the East. You mean the West, Tish? I think you mean the West. I'm pretty sure you mean the West. If you're gonna troll me, at least get your conferences right. Uh, Jonelle Santana. Uh, why are you scared? Hit that link. No, they're not going. It's cool. But I just dropped the link, and y'all free to come and speak. Y'all free to come and talk. I'm gonna pretty much be chilling when people start coming in here because I got to do some stuff. V World said, "Good content, man. Thanks for being the one who don't lie, for the one who put the truth. That's what the nations need. A shock of reality. We need changes now. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen really. I don't know. Like the Clippers, just more. They're not. I'm convinced the Clippers don't. They're not really into wanting to win. They want to sit up there and just basically. I don't know what the hell they doing. I don't know what the hell they doing. Honestly." He said, "BJ, these dudes just want to talk shit and comment like it said it was nothing." Yeah, it is what it is, bro. It's all good. Ken, what's good, bro?
What up, BJ? Salute, bro.
What's happening? What you got?
I mean, dang, bro. I was wrong. Cause I honestly thought the Clippers was gonna win that series, bro. And I betted money on the Clippers. So I mean, I'll be a man and I'll admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about the Clippers. I thought I seen something different, but the problem is the Clippers can't win with James Harden. The guy is known for being a choke artist in the playoffs in big moments, and he had a good first half of the series, but the last couple games of the series he didn't show up. And Kawhi just not the same player. He can't carry the load no more. He needs another guard to take the load off for him. Which they have the defensive pieces, but they don't. They only have specialists. They don't have two-way guys. That's the problem. So your best defensive players is hurts your offense, and then your best offensive players hurt your defense. So you need two-way guys who can take the load off of Kawhi. So I mean, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see what moves I make this summer to get better. Because I think y'all can get better. Y'all could get bigger in size. I think y'all should get a power forward like Larry Market, and then y'all got to replace the point guard spot because James Harden cannot stay there. He's getting older. He's not getting younger, and he's always gonna be a question mark in the postseason. And the postseason, you don't want to have question marks at important positions. Let's say this: the Clippers have a solidify center because Zubac is a good center. You could trust Zubac. Zubac's coming back, and you have good small forward in Kawhi. Now the question marks of the team is your point guard, and then you can upgrade your shooting guard and upgrade your power forward. But that point guard is a question mark, man. James Harden decision making in that game 7 was horrible, bro. He was turning the ball over. He wasn't being aggressive. He only took 8 shot attempts, bro. That's not good for your point guard, bro. The game was literally saying James Harden be aggressive, take over the game, hold it down, so you could give Kawhi a chance in the fourth quarter to take over. And he didn't do his job. And we're gonna see what moves Steve Ballmer makes and GM and stuff because this roster cannot come back next year, or I think y'all gonna be in the play or worse, miss the playoffs. But that's just my opinion, though, BJ.
Yeah, good points. Good points. I appreciate that, Ken. Let me go to Steph, and I'm gonna go to Eleasy. What's good, Steph?
What's going on, BJ? Um, when I think about this Clippers team, and the fact that they did make it to the playoffs and was able to put up, you know, a fight or be competitive in this first round, I feel like you gotta have some sort of uh, wherewithal to know that with James Harden leading the team for the first 50, 60 games, and he quote unquote being the system, and then Kawhi coming back after missing more than half of the season. Realistically, the Clippers, they're not really going to be contenders. We know what James Harden is, and we know at the end of the day, I love Kawhi. I'm a Kawhi guy, but he's getting older, and you know, I kept hearing him say, I'm just happy to be playing right now. I'm just happy to be ending the season healthy, stuff like that. So it's like, you want Kawhi to be that guy. You want Kawhi to take over, and you want Kawhi to like be more assertive. But that's really not in his nature to just say, give me the ball and get out the way. And I think at this point in his career, I don't even know if he really wants to do all of that because, like I say, age and attrition. So I think going forward, we just got to have more realistic expectations about uh, the team, considering who we have on the team.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good, Sims. I like that. Let's go, my man E. What's good, E?
What's good with your DJ? Salute to y'all, man.
Salute.
I agree with Spencer said, though. Like, we understand that we hold Kawhi to a higher standard, but you also got to pay attention to who Kawhi Leonard has been in his career. Kawhi Leonard isn't the Kobe Jordan type of player. He has the ability to become that, but it's also a state of mind. That's not his mind frame. Kawhi Leonard can dominate a game, yeah, but Kawhi Leonard needs to play with other players that can be great, you know what I'm saying, within the game also. And the Clippers don't have that the way they're constructed. There's a bunch of weak-minded players on the Clippers that has skill and talent, but they don't have the mindset in order to push through different adversities. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's exactly what we're seeing with the Clippers. So, the Clippers are going to really need to, construct their team differently. I understand that James Harden is a household name, but sometimes you got to look at the name. Look at what Chris Paul career been, right? We know that Chris Paul elevated teams, right, his whole career because he's a great leader. But we know that Chris Paul really couldn't get to the finals or get over that hump until he played with players that had a mentality of winning, like that winning mentality. When he got around Cam Johnson and you know what I'm saying, Monty Williams, his mentality from being under the Greg Popovich tree as a player than a coach. You know what I'm saying? And his experience as a coach. And then you see Mikal Bridges young. You see what he's doing with the Knicks and how he's able to play both ends of the court. You know what I'm saying? And then you've seen a talent like Devin Booker. So it kind of go hand in hand. Devin Booker needs that Chris Paul type of player on his team to help elevate him and keep him grounded. The same with Chris Paul, and that's exactly what I see with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard he's not really a great leader. Kawhi Leonard is just Kawhi Leonard. Like when they asked him, Stuart Scott asked him, man, who are you? What did Kawhi Leonard say? Kawhi Leonard. Like, you know what I'm saying? You wasn't going to get no profound answer. He's not going to break down the game to where he's not going to give you the details and break stuff down. So he's going to give you real plain Jane answers. And that's why the league kind of like, we know how great Kawhi is, but he's not marketable. We can't really put him at the forefront of the league because of his personality. Like that matters when it comes to, face of the league. We know how great of a talent he is, but he needs other players that have a stronger mindset that's able to persevere and get through tough situations. James Harden isn't that. Norman Powell isn't that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got all them older guys. You have to get younger and you have to get players that got a winning mindset, a mentality that, you know what? If they take you out of the game, Kawhi, guess what? Now, I got us. Don't even trip. And that's what they needed. They needed James Harden to kind of pick Kawhi up. Even though Kawhi put his numbers up, his numbers really didn't elevate. Like we've seen Jimmy Butler in the past. We've seen his regular season versus his playoffs. We've seen him carry two subpar Miami Heat teams to the finals alone. But guess what? Even then, Jimmy Butler needed that other alpha that was going to be able to be like, Jimmy, I know you logged all this work. I got us. I got you. That's what every superstar needs. Like every Michael Jordan needs a Scottie Pippen. Like real talk. Michael Jordan don't win no championships without Scottie Pippen. You can say what you want. If you didn't have another player on Scottie Pippen's level, as far as his grit, his grind, his hustle, his mentality, that was kind of like that was a seed planted in the organization because they drafted him out of Little Rock or Central Arkansas. They drafted Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen turned into who he turned into because of Charles Oakley's and Orlando Woolridge's and the players like that. They kind of groomed him, and then his confidence grew with that, and he became Scottie Pippen along with Michael Jordan. Iron sharpens iron. So if Kawhi Leonard doesn't have any iron to sharpen him, he's not really going to achieve what he once achieved before in San Antonio and Toronto. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to be first round, second round at best exits if you don't get some more iron to sharpen him. You feel me?
Facts.
Facts. Always good sentiments, E. Let me get let's get Mega G in here. What's good, man? Mega G, you on? Going once, going twice, and you out. All right. So how much blame do y'all feel Kawhi gets in pretty much the series? How much load do y'all put on Kawhi for the series?
I'll put about 50% because I feel like blame has to go to Ty Lue for taking so too long to make the adjustment to put Batum in the starting lineup. Because by then the Nuggets already had momentum. If he had been put Batum in, I think the Clippers could have ended the series in 6 or 5 games. But Ty Lue took too long, and then Kawhi, I gotta blame him because his aggression in Game 1 that he had in Game 2 should have been there in Game 1. And they probably would have won Game 1, but his aggression wasn't there. And the first half it was, but second half he wasn't as aggressive. And I also got to blame Kawhi for Game 7 because his aggression from the start it wasn't there. He wasn't being aggressive. Like Kawhi, his aggression was inconsistent in the series compared to other postseason where you see him. He laying it all out there. Like he put in. If Kawhi, usually when Kawhi goes down, he goes down with a fight. Like I seen a stat that Kawhi averaged like he has one of the highest PBGs in closeout games. Whether he's closing out games or whether someone's like his team is on the brink of elimination, and he just ain't play good, bro. He didn't play up to his standards, so I got to put that on him, for not playing up to his standards. From what we seen, his goal was to get out postseason healthy, and our goal for him was to be aggressive.
Okay. Steph,
I probably would say maybe like 20%. I wouldn't go as high as say 50%. I think Kawhi, he played well for the majority of the series. Could he have done more? Could he have done more to stop the bleeding? Yes. But the series doesn't even get to a Game 7 if you win Game 4 at home. And I would say probably 30 to 40% is on Ty Lue, and then another 40% is on James Harden and Norman Powell, because the drop off from how y'all played down the stretch of the regular season to the games where y'all just didn't show up to play in the series, that's a big costly thing. So I would say Kawhi, he definitely could have done more overall, but like I said before, he's getting older, and can't just expect him to come and save the day. He's not 2019 Kawhi anymore. So
okay. What about you, E?
For me, bro, I'll probably say 30% because everything that I just mentioned earlier, that's exactly what I expected. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have the iron to sharpen iron. I'm just saying he didn't have the teammates. He didn't have that type of team to say, you know what? Don't worry, Kawhi. We're going to win this game. We just need you to be Kawhi Leonard. You be Kawhi Leonard, and everything else, we'll take care of that. He didn't have that. You get what I'm saying? So I can't really put something on a. I have to like lower expectations for certain players. Like, you know what I'm saying? We compare players to past players all the time. And sometimes I think it's unfair because we've seen the greatness of certain players. So we go, oh man, if he played in this era, he would be doing this. And that's a Kobe guy, and that's a Magic guy, and that's a Jordan guy, and da da da. Yeah, you can say that, but guess what? It's a mentality, bro. Kawhi don't have a mentality. Nigga, give me the ball, get out the way. He don't have a mentality to go up in his teammate's face and be like, bro, I need you to do. Da-da-da-da-da." That's just not who he is, bro. Kawhi Leonard, if y'all paid attention to who Kawhi Leonard was in college at San Diego State, he's always been this mild-mannered individual. And other players across the league, that's why you never see them get chippy with him. They never try to like hurt or take cheap shots and roughhouse him because they understand that Kawhi Leonard is built a little differently, bro. He's a great player and all the players respect how great he is and his work ethic. But as far as him taking over and saying, you know what, I'm going to lead these trash players, you know what I'm saying, to the championship, or I'm going to lead these players aren't doing enough, so let me turn it up 210%. That's not who Kawhi Leonard is. He's great in his own right, right? But you have to surround him with leaders and coaches and basketball savants and, you know what I'm saying, people that got a high level of skill and aggression and a motor. And that's why I feel, to be honest with y'all, if the Clippers had Russell Westbrook with a healthy Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, the Clippers win that series easy. Because guess what? You see what Denver is doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Denver is doing what they're doing, but look what Russell Westbrook is doing. Look at his leadership. Look at his energy. Look at his grit. Look at his grind. Just the other day, I think somebody had fouled. Who was that who fouled somebody? It was Jalen Williams from Arkansas. The big Jalen Williams with the dreads, the big man on OKC. He pushed, I think he gave Joker a little shove. It wasn't really super aggressive, but it was after the whistle, right? Russell Westbrook immediately ran over there and pushed Jalen Williams and got up in his face and said, we ain't going to do that. That's what Kawhi Leonard needs, somebody that's not scared, bro. He had too many players that just like, you know what I'm saying, bro? You can't play with no motherfuckers that's not ready for the bullshit. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. Every team needs a player that's ready for the bullshit. Look at the Warriors. You think they win championships without a Draymond Green? Even though we hate when he does that dumb stuff, but that gives the Warriors the energy and the willingness to want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just fold they 10 up and go home, bro. I'm just saying, you have to have them type of players. So I would give Kawhi 30%. Even though we wanted Kawhi to be a little bit more aggressive and set the tone a little earlier than what he did, that's the only thing that I'll say that he probably could have done, which I've seen him do at different stages of his career. But I think Kawhi Leonard was just like, man, I'm not trying hard no more. I'm not going to waste all my energy and exert myself if I know that they're not going to do the same. And then now I blame him to have that mindset. That's called leadership. You always have to lead, bro, and let your team follow. And guess what? If they don't follow, then the organization will see that and say, we need to surround him with some other guys that's like-minded. You feel what I'm saying? So I would put probably 30% though, but they got to get rid of James Harden. You can get some pieces for him. You got to let Kobe Brown, Jordan really have to develop the young guys. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to find something in free agency or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bro, if Kuminga's available, if I'm the Clippers, you got to go after Kuminga. You might want to see Aaron Wiggins from OKC. Like, it's player, you might want to go see what Indiana going to do with all them guards over there. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Nembhard is one of them players that's going to, you feel me? Maybe like a TJ McConnell type player. TJ McConnell is a really good veteran, a good leader. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's going to play hard. He's going to play defense. You need guys like that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? You need those Kyle Lowry type players and then Fred VanVleet type players. And the Clippers don't have that right now. And then you gotta see what's up with Ty Lue, bro. Because if Ty Lue gonna still come out and say, James Harden, it's your team, it's your system, you're always gonna lose. Every single time, 100 times out of 100 times, you're not gonna win. But I'm just keeping it 100.
100 times out of 100 times for sure. What's good, Rob?
Hey, what's up, BJ? What's up, E? Hey, man, E, I love what you just said, bro. I really did, bro. You really hit it on the nail on the head, bro. I agree, bro. I think a lot of time throughout the season, everybody was saying, "Oh, all we need is Kawhi. All we need is Kawhi," and I never really thought that. Like, again, like you said, this is not 20. It's been 5 years. You know, you can't expect a player to still be the same person after 5 years, man. he's not going to bring that same. He's older now, man. He's not probably, like you said, he probably looked around and seen that nobody was coming with him, like you said, which is not a good thing to do if you're a leader of the team. But I mean, that's what I think happened. I think he just looked around and he said, "Man, these dudes ain't serious, man."
Yeah. He had that in San Antonio and Toronto. He had that, and that's why you seen him close people out. Warriors, Milwaukee, Philly. You know, it didn't matter. Like, because he had balls behind him that was gonna come with him. You feel me?
Absolutely, bro. Like, even when he was in Toronto, he had Siakam with him, bro. Siakam's a hell of a player, bro.
You know, Ibaka ready to punch you in your damn face. Look at him. I'm just saying.
You're right. You need and that's what, when I looked on that Clipper team, that's why I looked around. I'm like, bro, we needed that Patrick Beverly, that you know what I'm saying?
Westbrook, bro.
Russell Westbrook.
Why you think Russell Westbrook got that technical and was talking shit and said, "Get these soft ass"? He said that's what he said out of his mouth. "Get these soft motherfuckers up out of here." That's exactly what he said.
Take their ass home.
Take their ass home, man. Damn, bro. And you know, it's like you said, I've been saying that, everybody was saying throughout the whole season, "Oh, all we need is Kawhi, all we need is Kawhi." And I was saying, well, no, Kawhi need help, bro. He's not the same player that he used to be, bro. He needs help. Like you said, he needs the Scottie Pippen. James Harden is not a Scottie Pippen, man. He is not that guy. He needs help. And,
he's not that guy, bro. And it's his style of play. Y'all need a little bit more flow, ball movement, body movement. Once you get James Harden the ball, it's ISO. That's not going to win you the championship. Kobe told you that style of basketball is not going to win. Like, he told you that wasn't going to win. Why would you listen to one of the greatest to ever play?
Game 3, what were we doing? We were throwing that ball around the whole game. Game 3, we were passing the ball. Everybody was touching the ball. That's how we won the game. We should have stayed with that. But
that's how y'all won that game, bro.
But like you said,
at the same
man,
time in Game 3, they made shots too. The role players made shots. Like, in order to play like that, your role players.
But the role players made shots because of the flow and the movement, right?
Mm-hmm. Everybody touching that ball.
Ben Simmons get in the game, and what Ben Simmons do? That thing is on a straight hot case. He passed that thing quick. He ain't going no ISO dribble 100 times.
And it's crazy that you say that, because as soon as he stopped playing Ben, we ended up losing the rest of those games, man. I mean, we did win Game 6, but
flow, bro. That's all it is. Any offense, if you have flow to it, it's gonna work, because it's designed to move the bodies on defense and make them tired. OKC lost the game yesterday because they stopped doing exactly that. It was no flow. Everything was one-on-one ISO. The defense was just sitting there. It was all like in a little box in one zone type. We ain't gonna let you beat us.
And you know the difference too, with the reason why, and Joker didn't even have a good game last night, bro. But guess what?
His team, you can't lose that game.
His team came around him, and Jamal Murray stepped up. That's the difference with the Clippers. And it is. Yeah. Kawhi showed up, but nobody else showed up. Nobody else came with him, bro.
Let's keep it 100, y'all. Have the Joker ever won anything without a healthy Jamal Murray? Let's keep it 100. Jamal Murray is that damn good. People don't recognize that.
Good,
he's one of the top guards in the league, easy. And it's not even close.
Aaron Gordon, man, he's turning into one of the clutches. Like, I didn't even know Aaron Gordon had this clutch gene like that, man.
Like that.
Bay Area product, bro. That's how we get out here in the Bay, cuz. And he ready for all the smoke. Let's just keep it 100 with you.
Oh my God, man! Aaron Gordon
been that though. Let's just think about this. Aaron Gordon is a better Paolo Banchero. That's who Aaron Gordon is. Remember that they're really the same player, but Aaron Gordon has developed a consistent jumper now.
He did, man. I didn't see that in Orlando. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lees. I didn't see that Aaron Gordon in Orlando. But damn, this Aaron Gordon right now.
They compared him to Blake Griffin, and I was just like, no, he's not Blake Griffin. Like, you know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? Aaron Gordon can do way more than Blake Griffin, in my
But
He's
opinion.
like I
probably
said,
one of
that's
the
the
best.
difference, though.
He's
Go
probably
ahead,
one
Steph.
of
My
the
bad.
best complementary pieces in the
Yes, he
game.
is,
Like,
man. Yes, he is, man. Damn. I would
yeah,
love an Aaron Gordon on my team, man.
oh yeah.
But yeah,
So,
that's the difference, though, man. Is that Kawhi can't do it by himself anymore, man. He can't go and get you that 40, or or he probably could, but like I said, man, he can't do it by himself. I'm not gonna put all the blame on him. Like you said, like Elise, I'm with him on the 30%. But
but
Ty James Harden, and Norman Powell, man, they just did not show up, bro.
see,
And
even with Kawhi, like he's really not. He's not a vocal leader at all. Like he's more of a lead by example type of guy. And when I think about like this Clippers roster in the scope of the Kawhi Leonard era, this is probably like the worst or the second worst roster that they've had since Kawhi has been there. So you got to really like tailor your expectations toward your team and your roster too. This was not like a championship roster.
no, man, James Harden, man, they fooled us, man. You know what? It's crazy too. Like I actually was trying to believe in James Harden, man, throughout the season, but he did what he did, man.
Fool's gold.
He got me, coach.
But
He
I
got me.
believe, remember, I told y'all the Clippers was a top five season in the summertime without Kawhi. I said they'll be top five, and when they get Kawhi back, but that was when the roster was constructed with Kevin Porter Jr., Kai Jones, and Mo Bamba. I don't understand how you trade all of that for Bogey. That's it. They traded all of that for Bogey and Nicholas Batum and Patty Mills. You mean
To
to tell
all
me you
that
traded
defense.
all that talent for them three
Mm-hmm.
players? Come on, bro. You're bound to fail now because guess what? They really essentially said, you know what? We're going to make this James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Why would you do that? James Harden isn't nobody. He cannot be the second best or the first best player on a championship team. He cannot. So once they said that, then the Clippers played well down the stretch of the season. They had that run, but I always thought it was fool's gold, though. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, dude, these dudes not built to win. Look at the roster. You feel me? And then they added Ben Simmons. But if you put Ben Simmons with Kevin Porter Jr., Kai Jones, Mo Bamba, you got something now.
He got
You
something,
got
yeah.
some dogs. Because guess what? Kevin Porter Jr., a dog. You feel what I'm saying? He's still
Facts.
raw because, what he been through in his career. He's still a raw talent. But guess what? You ain't gonna sit there and tell him he ain't gonna compete. He felt like he was better than James Harden. That's why he felt like he deserved more minutes. And guess
Mm.
what? He played really, really well. He did.
He did.
Like, you know
He
what I'm
did.
saying?
He earned himself a
So,
contract, that's for sure.
yeah, but it's tough, bro. When you these teams, bro, and it's all about winning, you gotta have the basketball minds within your organization on knowing player personnel, not just the name. We get so infatuated with names, but what about understanding what drives them to be great? You get what I'm saying? It's just like, what drives James Harden to be great? Does he want to win a championship, or is he just good with just the fame and the popularity along with being a star athlete? I need
But
motherfuckers
Elise,
that want to win. Where's
Elise,
the
after what
winners
he
at?
did
That's what
with
I
not
want. I
coming
want
to the
winners.
post game, what he did with not coming to the post game, he showed everybody what he about, bro.
And that's a top 75 player right now. So let's look at all the other top 100, top 75 players. Would they ever leave their teammates out to dry in a post game to answer the tough questions? Would any one of those other top 75 players or Hall of Fame players do that? And if they would do that, then I got to take them off the list, bro. That's not high character type shit. Hold
That's
yourself
right.
accountable. You don't want to
That's
answer the
right.
hard questions? So what? We all, have to do shit that we don't want to do. That's the sacrifice and part of being great. You got to do shit you don't want to do. You think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan wanted to do this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Every day and every night and long hours. Like it's hard, bro. Like, don't run away from the grind. You gotta run towards the grind. Don't run away from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me get my man Mass in here. What's good, Mass?
Hey, salute, fellas, man. Happy Saturday. Got some cool games today.
Man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Salute,
Okay,
bro.
so what up, my guy Leezy, and always salute to BJ, man. I got to come from a different angle, Leezy. I mean, who much is given, much is required. And so, how much percentage do I give Kawhi Leonard? Just off top, him being the best player and wanting that type of responsibility, knowing what he brings, knowing his value, knowing what comes with being the best player on the team. Off top, bro, he gets half of it, 50%. He has to take that. I mean, I wouldn't be consistent if I didn't say that, bro, because I got that same standard for Steph Curry, LeBron, everybody else. Just off top. I don't care if Kawhi did his job, bro. You lose a series, you take half because part of being the best player and being a leader is you got to get your guys to come along with you. And so, I'm being on and let's be honest here. Like, why is it that a team has to be complete to compete for a championship? Nobody said that they didn't have the right players when they smoked the Cavaliers and Zubac was beasting and guys hitting shots and nobody said that they weren't complete when Kawhi was in Brooklyn and dropping 25 in the first quarter and James played great and all these things. And so because the team doesn't play well, we can't switch it and say, the team's not built right or he ain't got enough. Because now what I'm hearing is Kawhi ain't got no help. We can't do that, guys. Come on. We can't do that. Right? I mean, Kawhi got help. Now is the help coming along with him at times? No. But there were games where Kawhi Leonard didn't come along. Like, Kawhi wasn't always operating at max efficiency. And this Clippers team was around or hovering or above 500 all year long. Even before Kawhi came back, they were a top defensive team and they were above 500. So last time I checked, that's considered help. He has help. Now, what he did with the help is a different question. I mean, Kawhi was standing in the corner at times, letting James Harden operate and do whatever. That's not leadership to me. Kawhi was being passive at times. Okay. So, I mean, this is crazy. So, for me, I know you guys may think differently, but for me, nah, bro, I got to be consistent, and I would not be consistent if I didn't say Kawhi don't get half of this, bro. Because, again, just because you played well as an individual, that's not everything that is asked of you. Like, as the best player, it's your job to get yours and to make sure your guys come along with you. That's why you're a superstar, and superstars do super things, right? I mean, Kawhi, I'm Leezy. Steph Curry ain't got no complete team, bro. He ain't got no center. Is he complaining? I mean, Jimmy Butler missed game 3 versus my Rockets. Did he complain? No. He just run through and play basketball.
Hey,
and whatever.
That's my point right there. Yeah. What's Steph Curry do without Jimmy Butler?
He won the
37
game.
points, and he won the game. But guess what? What did he do game 7 in the closeout game? Steph Curry didn't have a great game in that closeout game in game 7. Let's be honest.
But he had a good fourth quarter.
The reason why you need a complete team is because you're playing against a complete team like Denver.
Hold on, Steph. Let me finish real quick, Steph, please. But Steph Curry had a great fourth quarter in game 7, right? And he was doing other things in the court to impact winning.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So his movement off the ball. See, listen, bro. Like, I don't always judge players by points and make shots because sometimes you can't control that. But what you can control is your defense, your ability to compete on the glass, and playmaking and just being in the way. And so, listen, man. I mean, there's been a lot of guys who won championships and their team wasn't complete, right? And again, bro, before Kawhi came back, all I heard was, it doesn't matter. We have Kawhi Leonard. That was a talking point with some of these guys, right? I don't see none of them on here now, but that was their talking point. Oh, it doesn't matter. Like, long as Kawhi is great, then we got a chance. Okay, well, Kawhi wasn't always great in this postseason. He was good, but I can't lie about his play. And so a team, Steph, doesn't have to be complete for you to win a championship, bro. Like, you're a superstar for a reason because you can do super things, right? Like, Steph Curry's team wasn't better than the 22 Boston Celtics. I think the Celtics were a better team from top to bottom. And what did Steph Curry do? That's okay. I'm going to let my individual greatness come up, and show out. That's what great players do, bro. Not saying Kawhi's not great, but I guess what I'm trying to say, and then I'll end it here shortly, is that I agree with you guys. This is not the same Kawhi Leonard. So I think the expectation in what was expected of him was a little bit of fool's gold. Like, game 2, Kawhi, Yeah, that was awesome to see. He was amazing. I get it. But there's no way in hell that we all thought that we're going to get that version of Kawhi throughout the series. And I'm not saying shooting 14 for 18 and his splits. I'm just talking about just that level of impact, right? And we didn't get that. We didn't get that, right? We can blame James, Norman Powell. I thought Zubac played well throughout the series. The role got listen, hold on. They're role players for a reason. Role players are supposed to be inconsistent. That's why they're role players, right? They're not star players. They're not superstars. That's why there's different levels of expectation and there's different levels of the playing field is not even is not even, and that's why some players are on max deals and some players are on team friendly deals, right? I don't expect Derrick Jones Jr., Nunn, or these guys to be consistent, but I expect Kawhi Leonard and James Harden to be consistent and Norman Powell to be somewhat consistent. I can't judge the role players like I judge the team's best players. I just can't do it. So, I mean, just by default, I got to give Kawhi 50%, bro. And I know it's not fair. I know it's not the popular thing to say, but I wouldn't be consistent if I didn't say that. But I think Kawhi had a good series, right? I think Kawhi had a good series. I don't think Kawhi had a bad series, but it wasn't good enough, right? When Denver was up 20-some points in Game 7, you know what I'm saying, Leezy, I like to say, who's going to stop the bleeding? I didn't see Kawhi get to the free throw line and stop the bleeding. I didn't see Kawhi Leonard go shut off anybody's water on defense. He was standing in the corner, bro, waiting on James Harden. Are you kidding me? In the Game 7? Come on, bro. So, yeah, for me, he gets 50% of the blame.
I'm not mad at that, bro. Like, I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt, but my expectations of Kawhi have lowered, though, to be honest with you. Because guess what? Paul Pierce got a Finals MVP, and Chauncey Billups got a Finals MVP, and Tony Parker got a Finals MVP. So when I'm looking at these Finals MVPs, I mean, I got to start comparing people now, and then the mentality. Kawhi Leonard, bro, I know we expected him to be Kobe and Jordan and them. He don't have the same mentality, bro. He's just a great player offensively and defensively. But leading guys and willing your team to win, he don't got that.
Facts.
That's what
he's passive, bro. Yeah, he's passive.
To think about it too, they're going up against a complete team in Denver. You seen how they was playing, and you seen how they've been playing. Like even the last few years when they beat the Lakers, it wasn't like LeBron didn't show up at all or AD didn't show up at all.
No, they didn't show up, bro. No, bro. We can't lie. They didn't show up, bro. In the fourth quarters, LeBron and AD did not show up. That's a fact. So, I mean, come on, bro. We can't lie on here. They did not show up. That's why they lost the series in close games because the two best players didn't show up.
So you're saying Jamal Murray wasn't taking over? You saying Aaron Gordon didn't have a big impact?
That's not what you just said, bro. You said LeBron and AD showed up. So I'm not arguing Jamal. No. I'm rebutting what you just said. You said LeBron and AD showed up versus Denver. And I'm saying, no, they did not. They did not show up.
It's not like they didn't show up at all.
They didn't show up, bro.
Quarters, okay, you can have 1 or 2 fourth quarters where you
fourth quarters,
don't play
well. Bro, they lost in 5 games, bro. They didn't show up. They didn't show up in all the losses in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
So what happened this year when Denver was playing?
Playing who? Playing the Clippers?
Playing us and playing against OKC. They have 4 or 5 guys show up every game. Damn near. Russell Westbrook off the bench.
I'm confused by what
Aaron
you're
Gordon,
saying.
Michael Porter Jr.
What point are you making right now?
I'm saying we're playing against the Nuggets, who are a complete team. So for you to say,
only complete teams,
you don't need a complete team to win.
So only complete teams win championships, bro? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if you go down the list, if you go down the list of NBA champions, all of them, even if you have a great player, let's say Hakeem in '94 or Dirk, they all had their role players step up and make big shots in those games, in those series. We had guys who were very inconsistent throughout the series. So
being inconsistent
when you got Kawhi and Zubac, who are the only consistent players in the series, you can't expect to have a championship aspiration.
Bro, now you're changing what you're saying, bro, because players not playing well, I agree with. But you're saying a complete team. So you can't have it both ways. I agree. The role players didn't play well. I get that. But because they don't play well doesn't mean the team's not complete. It just means that they just didn't play well. That's all that is.
Let me get Mega G in here real quick. I'm gonna let y'all get back to it. What's good, Mega G?
What's up, fellas? You can hear me,
What's up?
bro?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So what the topic, Kawhi, how about percentage? Right. I get him. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Kawhi fan, man. My favorite player for the last, what, 5, 6 seasons, I guess. But yeah, I'm giving him 50, man. Just based off the fact that he supposed to been the one. I look at Kawhi when people break down his game, I look at Kawhi like the efficiency ain't never the issue. I feel like
Yo, your mic cut out, Mega G.
bro.
Yeah, try to say something.
You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where I was at, where you heard me last?
You look at Kawhi and then you cut out.
Well, I feel like with Kawhi, the efficiency is never the issue. It's the volume for me. Like, I need Kawhi taking 20 plus shots a night. And on the end of those possessions, when I'm screaming it's a bad shot, I'd rather it be Kawhi taking it versus Norm or James Harden or somebody. You feel what I'm saying? He don't give you enough. Kawhi, you feel me? But as far as James Harden, I feel like his game based around the whistle. So that's why he get good production during the regular season. So when the playoffs start, we all know that the whistle ain't too many. Ain't nobody getting that whistle like they used to. So when he doing the little shit he used to doing, he turning the ball over, ain't getting the whistle. Say that shit happened 2, 3 times. Now it's fucking his rhythm, his game, but he don't want to keep turning the ball over. So he getting stuck. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just a bad coincidence, unfortunate that you going up against a guy like Westbrook who out to prove. See, Westbrook, they don't been on they been on teams together and shit. Like they got history. So he know James Harden in his heart. You get what I'm saying? Cause if you don't play ball before, you been on the court with somebody enough, you know how tough this person, you know what they built, what they made out of. So he like, I'm finna take it to him because he really already know James Harden really ain't like that. In his mind, it's a mind. I cut out again, bro.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit.
All right.
We can hear you though.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like the Clipper need to get rid of Ty Lue. Need to get rid of Ty Lue, bro. I wouldn't get rid of Hart. I mean, that's not a popular opinion, but you feel me? I wouldn't get rid of Hart. I get rid of Ty Lue ass. I really ain't push much.
Why
I
wouldn't you get
definitely
rid of
keep
Harden?
Kawhi. Go ahead, bro.
Why wouldn't you get rid of Harden? Like if that was an option.
It depends on what I'm getting though. I mean, of course, if I'm getting something better, then I'm gonna do it. But that's just not something I'm looking at like that. We need to get rid of Hart. You feel me? That's not what I'm looking at. Like that.
But you just said out your mouth that Harden not built like that. According to Russ,
Yeah, I
they
know
know
what I
his
said out
heart.
my
So
mouth,
if
but
this
that
is the
don't mean
James Harden
that
that you're
don't
going
mean
to
you can't.
get
That don't
when the
mean you can't
marbles
work
are
with
on
that,
the
bro.
table, so do you think James Harden can turn into this defensive player and this non-ISO player? You think he can switch his game completely?
I didn't say none of that. I didn't say he could switch his game. I think
No, I'm
he could go.
asking, do you
Can
think
I
that?
answer? I think he can go into with a better mentality. You get what I'm saying? Have a stronger
Okay.
mentality as far as that go. Do I think he's just gonna
Mhm.
all of a sudden become super on things that he's not good at? No. I mean, I can point out things about other players that fucking Derrick Jones Jr. can't shoot the damn ball.
Yeah,
I
but
know
Derrick
that.
Jones Jr. is
Well,
not
he
a strong
shot a pretty
player,
good
so
percentage
he can
in the
beat us.
series, though.
Yeah, he can
He
Huh?
beat
shot a
us.
pretty good percentage in the series. Derrick Jones Jr. helped the team go to the NBA Finals. So
Man, that one game when
He's
they
a
could have
role player,
started
bro.
Batum,
So
game 6, I think it was. No, what was that?
he's a
Game
role
5
player, but his
he's a
or
role
impact
game
player.
on
7?
that
Man,
season counted. So
that
But why
man
is
bricked
your
us out, bro.
but Mega? But why are you expecting great things from Derrick Jones Jr., who's a role player, and
No,
comparing to James
yeah, that
Harden?
makes
I
no
just use
sense.
that as an example, bro, because he said I'm just pointing out all these players got things they need to work on, bro.
Yeah, everybody got
Yeah,
deficiencies. I
yeah, of
understand that.
course. But when the Clippers win Game 2, then they're great. They're going to beat Denver because I want Steph to explain next to the guy in the middle to explain what's his definition of a complete team. Because when they win, they're good, Leezy. Like, they got Zubac, they got a top defense, they got an elite player in Kawhi Leonard. I mean, that sounds complete
Right.
to me. I
Okay.
mean, what's incomplete about the Clippers all of a sudden?
Because they don't look at
What's
basketball the same way, bro. They look at it from a fan perspective and what the
Okay.
numbers say in a box score. You feel
All
me?
right.
They don't really
what's
Let
break
me
down
get
the
ready to
game.
top.
That's why.
this is what's a complete team to me.
All
When
right.
you have two-way players, when you don't just have a defensive specialist and a bunch of specialists who can only do certain things. Uh, Chris Dunn is good, but he is not a starting two guard on a championship team. That's what I mean when I say complete.
I mean, it depends on
So
what your team got, though.
so can I ask you who? So on the Warriors, Steph plays the one, and then does Brandon start Leasy or does Buddy Hill start?
Brandon starts some games, Buddy Hill starts. It's all on Kirk. He
Okay,
does weird
okay.
stuff with the lineup.
Because I
Yeah.
would argue that Brandon Pods is not no elite two-way player. So I mean, and they
Let
have
me
no.
let's ask this, man. Who has the better roster, the Clippers or the Warriors?
The Clippers do. The Clippers do.
I'm talking about on up and down the roster.
I think the Clippers do. I do.
Right. That's so when I say complete, what I'm saying is mentality wise, you need dogs on the court. Did
Okay.
anybody ever see Buddy Hill doing what he's doing right now in these playoffs? Have you ever seen Buddy Hill turn into this version?
Oh,
He's playing defense for God's sake,
Right.
bro. Defense. We're
right.
talking about Buddy Hill and defense.
But take it a step
When you
further, Lee.
have great players with that mentality, Steph Curry,
Yeah.
Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler,
Go.
they hold these players accountable.
There
Right.
you
Kawhi
go.
does
That's
not
the point.
do that.
Right.
He's never done that. Ever.
Facts.
Let's just be honest, bro. So when you get a successful team, you're only going to be as successful as your great players around you can elevate everybody else's game. Nobody's seen Brandon Podziemski and Buddy Hill are probably the fourth or fifth options off the bench on any other team. Let's just be honest, bro. They're not that good. And when the Warriors win, do I come in here and cap and say, "Nigga, I say they're still garbage because I'm breaking down the game, bro. If the teams don't let Buddy Hill shoot, what is he gonna do? If the teams don't let Brandon Podziemski shoot, what is he gonna do? So I have to look at it from that perspective. Are you helping? Are you playing great defense? No, because you're undersized and you don't give maximum effort. So let's just be honest, bro. Like, you have to elevate players. Can the Clippers be great? Yeah, they can be great. But are you going to elevate them to be great, or are you just going to let them just be mediocre? That's why you're not going to win. Period. James Harden is never elevated anybody to be great. Let's just be honest. You're never going to win like that, bro.
Right. Let me go to Dom real quick. What's good, Dom?
What's good? What's good, BJ? What
What's
up?
good,
What
bro?
up to the panel? Salute, Leezy, Mars. What up? Yo, what are we
What up, big
talking
dog?
about right now?
We talking about Kawhi, how much blame he gets against Denver.
Oh, come on, BJ. Damn, nigga. Fuck it. I mean, you gotta listen. Gotta give him some blame. Like, he can't escape accountability. He can't, bro. If I gotta give him a percentage, I'd give him about 45, maybe 35%, bro. Like, I'm not gonna go crazy and really put all the onus on him because, like I always say, his counterpart didn't show up. Like, again, if it was just him out there playing five guys, I get it. But it was other motherfuckers around him that didn't show up. Like, he's one person. He's not like he's one guy. It's not an army of motherfuckers behind him. He's only one person. What about the four other motherfuckers that didn't do nothing? So it's like, again, we can give him the blame. We can. But if guys don't do their job, I mean, what else is there to be said? I keep telling everybody, you want to blame somebody, blame the nigga who put the roster together. Because them niggas ain't do shit for us during the playoffs. Them niggas, yo, let's keep it real. Majority of them niggas was mediocre the whole. Outside of the regular season, niggas was mediocre after that, bro. Like, playoff time came, a lot of these niggas was mediocre.
Excluding Zubac.
Huh?
I say excluding Zubac.
What you said, bro?
Exclude
Excluding
Zubac.
Zubac.
Yeah, excluding that nigga. The rest of them, the other fucking three niggas, were mediocre as fuck. So guys that we thought was gonna be something just wasn't. Remember, San Antonio, team basketball, everybody did their job. Won. Toronto, niggas did their job. Won. Why does it seem like every year with the Clippers, niggas can't do their jobs? It
Great
sounds like
point.
the way niggas, this sounds like the way niggas is constructing these rosters. They're just not putting together a winning roster.
Facts.
That's not his fault. That's a management issue. Who knows? Maybe he could be recruiting behind the scenes.
I told you.
told
He's
y'all,
saying the same thing I've been saying.
I personally don't think the Clippers want to win, bro. I just think they want to contend. Some niggas just want to be, like I told y'all, okay with sniffing the ass. They may not want it. They just may be okay with sniffing it. That's the Clippers, bro. They don't want the whole thing. They just want a sample. They want a taste, my nigga. So that's not his fault. So can we? This is what I blame him for, everybody. He chose a losing organization. That's what I blame him for. He tried to do what Carmelo did with the Knicks, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Remember when Melo went to the Knicks? He tried to make the Knicks a winner. And what the fuck did they do every year? They had this nigga playing with G Leaguers and cab drivers, bro.
They did that on purpose to Carmelo, too.
And this is what I'm saying about the Clippers. Like, are they like, oh, a 50-win season? It was a good season. Yeah, let me tell you something. Lord Murray said it out his own mouth, and y'all know I've been saying it. BJ know I've been saying it. The only motherfucking reason why we were the 5th seed is because the conference was sloppy all year. Yo, we didn't even deserve to get to the playoffs, bro. Let alone the fucking play-in. If I knew in my heart this is what was gonna happen, yo, these niggas should have stayed home. Y'all wasted our time as fans. You got us all hyped for this Denver shit. Game 7 come, nobody shows up.
Crazy, man.
So again,
Nobody showed up.
we want to blame Kawhi. We could do that. Me and BJ had these conversations. Lord Murray clearly stated Steve Ballmer's the guy that don't want to break up the roster. Fine. Well, nigga, you gonna keep losing every fucking year. That's it.
Right.
I don't know.
Strong words, my man Dom. Let me go to my man Tyson, and we go to Jonelle. What's good, Tyson?
What's good, panel? How y'all doing? Good Saturday. Yeah, man, again, I spoke on this yesterday. I feel like Kawhi get about 40%, 40 to 45%, right in that range. All the time, no player wins a game by itself. I agree 100%. But like Ma said, we hold these stars accountable because they got great expectations on them to play a certain way. When they don't play that way, they deserve some culpability. We got to come to the realization that maybe Kawhi is not, the Kawhi of old, when he went out there. And granted, like the other player said, those organizations were had leaders. I'll say that they had leaders. Kawhi wasn't in necessarily that leadership role. He played half the games in Toronto and had a great playoff run. Nobody's taking away his performance, but as far as leading a team, I don't know. We can put that on Kawhi Leonard throughout his career. He obviously he had Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich. Then he goes over there. They had dogs over there. People say what they want about Kyle Lowry, but Kyle Lowry is a dog. You know what I'm saying? And he's proven that throughout his playoff appearances. So, I just think we just got to be realistic of what Kawhi is at this point in his career. I think, and nobody expects these players in these latter stages. Or some people do, but nobody's expecting. LeBron James at whatever age to carry a team. Nobody was expecting Kobe Bryant at whatever age, 38, to carry a team at that point. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to put it in proper perspective. After all the injuries, after all Kawhi's been through, great player. I think if he was healthy, he'd be in top 10 conversations. But the fact is he hasn't, and that takes a toll on your career. So I just look at it like that, and we got to throw blame at James Harden obviously because he didn't show up as a secondary player. So I just Kawhi get about 40-45% in my opinion.
All right. Appreciate you, Tyson. Let me go to Jonelle. What's good, Jonelle?
Yo, BG, what's going on? It's a good panel. My thing with
Glad to see you.
Kawhi is that I think that my only criticism, I won't give him a percentage, but I would definitely say that he should have been more vocal on the basketball court with his teammates, especially when the going got tough. When Denver went on those crazy runs, he should have been more vocal, and when they ran sets. I think he should like kind of like I think the reason why he didn't actually it's like impose his will as much as he should have at certain points of the game is because I have a feeling that like when I think about it, going back in was it December VJ that they were Kawhi was in a press conference or in the locker room they were interviewing him and he said it's not like we're a first team first seed or something. Remember when he said that? I think that deep inside Kawhi didn't believe in like this team 100%. Because of the way that it was constructed. You know what I mean? And the way that Ty Lue was coaching, the way that this dude was coaching the team, his rotations, playing these, even before the trades went down, we had a problem of whose team, not whose team was it gonna be, but who was gonna anchor the offense? Was it Kawhi or James Harden? We had an issue with that all year, pretty much. And when you have that type of atmosphere going on in the locker room, I don't think that's gonna play. That's gonna be something that is gonna benefit the team in the long run. Especially, it's definitely not gonna bring the team together. But yeah, Kawhi Leonard, I don't think he was 100% on board with what was going on. I know he's a laid back dude. He's not gonna be trying to control. Uh, he's not a control freak. He's just gonna let it ride and see what happens. That's what I get from Kawhi. He's always been like that. You know he's always been like that. So he's a particular type of superstar he's not. You know we can't say that he's not marketable or anything like that. Like he's just they don't choose to market him. He's not loud. He's not rowdy. Nikola Jokic is definitely not marketable if you want to make him. You know what I mean? There's a lot of players that they just let their game speak and that's it. Kawhi is one of them. He's at certain points he's been vocal. I seen him during the regular season be vocal last year, even before the injury. When we went on that crazy winning streak with Paul George. Kawhi Leonard, I saw him very engaged. I think that if, injuries have definitely 100% been the number one reason why Kawhi hasn't been able to get this team where it needs to be at. But this we gotta do some retooling. We gotta clean house. We gotta get people out of here. Period. We can't just stick with the same coaching staff. We gotta get this guy out of here. That's my only take. James Harden, I'll let him walk. Like I said yesterday, I just let this nigga walk, and that's it. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna see what if I'm the Clippers, what we got going. Who can come? Who can we recruit? I don't know. We're in tough situation, but as far as Kawhi Leonard, I think he should have just been more vocal. That's it. Just a little bit more vocal. Denver. I think after this dude made this put back dunk, Aaron Gordon. Those are one of the moments that you got to get your teammates ready for what's coming. And I think Kawhi should have been a little bit more demonstrative. And as far as telling him, hey, all right, you got this guy, cover this guy. In case he misses, try to box out. He should have been because we knew what was James Harden. Soon as all game long, not during that game, but after that game, after the putback dunk, I knew what time it was when it came to James Harden. I knew what time it was. This dude was gonna have a mental breakdown after that. and it seemed like he just got worse and worse. Like everything just accelerated. Like this dude just literally deteriorated in front of everybody. Like he just crumbled. So it all just happened like incrementally. This dude started missing box, not even boxing out, not cutting. He was getting backdoor during that game. He was getting backdoor to death. Like this dude's just slashing, and this he just couldn't keep up. He wasn't playing any D. He didn't show any effort, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And I knew what time it was when it came down to what was James Harden gonna do, what was gonna bring to the table. I knew that he wasn't gonna get any better. I think the Kawhi should have understood that. But hey, let's see what happens. I think that he definitely should have been more vocal. That's it, you know. But as far as me giving him a blame percentage, I'm not gonna go as far as that because this Kawhi Leonard did what he was supposed to do. So you know, for people that just want to say that, oh, you're not gonna blame him and this and that. You guys, we actually have cooked Kawhi Leonard in the past in this channel plenty of times. BJ has. We called this nigga out a bunch of times. We said, yo, we even during the regular season last year, you know, not this year because this year literally he came, he only played 30 games, 37 games. Last year there was a lot of games that we could Kawhi Leonard. So this is not nothing new. We actually, we're not biased by any means. We're Clipper first. We Kawhi Leonard is a superstar at his own right, but he's gotten kicked in this channel. So that's not unlike you people that some fans out there that their favorite player. They put him in the high ass mountaintop, but when they crumble, they don't blame him. Kawhi gets some blame when he does wrong. And we have done that in the past, so that's not gonna work here in this channel. But that's my take, BJ.
Real quick,
Should
real
be
quick.
vocal.
You said LeBron. I mean, Kawhi did what he was supposed to do as this quote unquote superstar, as the best player on this team. What was he? I'm not arguing with you. I'm just asking, what was he supposed to do? Because you said he
Well,
did what he's supposed to do. What was he
he
supposed to
played.
do as a superstar?
He when it came down to the offense, he showed up. I can't say that he didn't. He played defense. He actually had tough assignments. He did even when his offense wasn't 100%. He had I think one inefficient game. He was rebounding. He was doing other things. He damn near got a triple double. So he was doing everything that he had to do. He wasn't missing any. He didn't have any miscues. There were at certain points he had to come back and get on. Let's say if somebody was cooking, he had to get on them. I noticed that he got on Jamal Murray. This guy was cooking. All right, he calmed him down. Then he got on Aaron Gordon. He was literally the dude who was common player. Every time a Denver player exploded was on a heater, he got on him. That's what I always notice about Kawhi Leonard. So he rebounded when he had to. He assisted the ball when he had to. So he did even when he didn't even had it like 100% when it came to efficiency. He did what he was supposed to do.
What is crazy?
He did what he had to do, pretty much. He wasn't right. Kawhi didn't average 30, but he at least got everything. What was needed to get done. He did it. And he's not ball dominant. I'm at. He's not ball.
Max. My bad, Joe. Let me go to Mad Max. What's good, Mad Max?
What's good? What's good? I think I'm not saying all I need to say about Kawhi. I give him about 35-40% of the blame. I just come to say, to Mars, you need this ain't 2014 10 no more. You need you damn near need 8 two-way players to win the championship now. Like you need depth. Now one player ain't winning you nothing. And BJ knew this. That's why BJ was more skeptical than everybody else on the panel because he, from the first time, but early in the season, BJ said we ain't got enough two-way players. You got Chris Dunn, okay, he a negative on offense. You can't have players out there that hurt your team in this league no more. Like they got to be able to do both things. And the Clippers don't have that. That's what a complete team is now. The Clippers not a complete team. That's all I had to say today. I'll holler at y'all. I'm at work.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. Y'all had a complete team. Y'all traded away the complete team. Kevin Porter Jr., Kai Jones, you know what I'm saying? And Mo Bamba. You
Facts,
can
facts.
work
I
with
agree.
that, bro. Because guess what? If you're going to put Chris Dunn in there, Chris Dunn was excellent with Kevin Porter Jr. Because guess what? Kevin Porter Jr. ain't no slack off from James Harden. And Kevin Porter Jr. going to play just as hard on defense. So you
Facts.
can't just say, okay, I'm going to give Chris Dunn the toughest assignments and then James Harden get to not do nothing on defense. It makes your players look garbage. Kawhi Leonard out there switching on guarding Joker. He's guarding Murray. He's guarding Aaron Gordon. Kawhi Leonard was getting physically attacked throughout the whole game. They were making Kawhi Leonard switch. They was making him move and play off the pick and roll. Like he was tired. He needed other dogs on the squad. You didn't have that. Your next best player, bro, is a fucking Siamese cat or whatever the fuck, bro. He's not that dude. You got to get up off of James Harden, bro.
All
You
right, let me
cannot go into
respond to
next season
homeboy
saying
Lazy real
James
quick,
Harden,
bro.
go
I'm
into
back,
your
bro.
ISO, go into your ISO. You feel me? I'm just saying, bro. Kawhi Leonard is Kawhi Leonard, bro. The
Let me
expectations
respond to
outweigh
homeboy who just said,
expectations for Kawhi Leonard, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
yeah, let me respond to homeboy who says that you need 8 two-way players and this ain't 2004. And you need a complete team to win. If that's the case, then Tyson, that means that these players ain't as great as we think they are, bro. If everything needs to go your way and the stars need to align and you need a complete roster to compete for a championship, listen, you're a superstar for a reason. Where your team is lacking, you pick up the slack. That's why you're a superstar. So I disagree with homeboy completely, right? You don't need 8 two-way players. Curry ain't got that. He didn't have that in 2022 when he beat the Celtics. Kawhi didn't have that in 19. I don't think he had it, right? I mean, what are we doing, bro? Like, why are we lowering the measuring stick and lowering the bar? I'm not giving Kawhi all the blame, but he gets around, like you said, 45, 50% for the most. I think everybody's saying that. But Tyson, so now we need a team to be complete, and the stars have to align. You need to have perfect players and two-way players, and your star player ain't got to be super to win. I mean, what are we doing, bro? Like, that's not what I'm used to.
I agree with you a certain extent. You might not need all of that, but when we look at these teams, you just gotta look at roster construction.
Okay.
I'm saying, so Steph Curry has obvious flaws in his game, right? But what they did as the Golden State organization is put players around them who can help with those flaws. If your star has certain flaws, I think that you need to have players around him that's going to try to make up for those flaws, so your star can focus on doing what he does, and your offense has to be based on what that star does well, or what
So where
and
were the
somebody
Clippers
that can
at?
make up
Okay,
those
Tyson.
deficiencies. With Giannis, for instance, with Giannis
All right.
as a player, you're gonna need other defenders around him to help. Obviously help out. You always gonna need defenders. We look at championships teams; they always upper the tops in the league
I'm not
in
arguing
defensive
that point.
rating.
He said 8. He
Okay,
said 8
I
two-way.
agree with you on that
but
one.
Giannis.
You might
So
not
so
need 8, but you need
so you
5 to
need
6
shooting
to
around
go.
Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a good
That's
shooter. So you go
sad, though. That's
what?
sad
Huh?
too.
But
That's
what
sad
happened
too,
to
bro.
That's
Hey,
sad.
Leezy and Tyson? What
Okay,
happened to your role players get you there and your stars take you home, bro? Like why are we just
I
not
agree with that.
following?
I agree
Come
with
on,
that.
bro.
Giannis
Come
needs to
on.
play
But
with
you got
other
to have the
great
role players
players
to
in order
get
to
you there
win,
too, though.
bro. Let's just be honest with you.
Tyson,
What's that?
the Clippers had an above 500 record with a top defense before Kawhi even came back, bro. What are we
Yeah, but
complaining
that's
about?
why I disagree with Leezy, though. You talking about Kai Jones and all these other players, but the Clippers needed some offense, bro. They was bottom
Kevin
of the
Porter
league,
Jr. can go get you 20.
but
Chris Dunn can't go get you
they was
20. Ben
bottom in the
Simmons can't go
league.
get you 20. And Bunky
I don't care
Bogdanovich
about
can't
none of
go
that.
get you
The
20,
stats
bro.
speak for themselves, Leezy.
Stats just doesn't tell the whole story, bro.
Being a bottom of the league offense does tell the story.
Yeah, when you traded all your players. Yeah, that's when
No,
you became
before
bottom of the
that, there was a
league.
bottom of the league
No,
offense.
they wasn't, bro. They was a real
How
good,
many 20-point
efficient
games did
team.
KPJ
They
had
was
this playoff?
efficient team, bro.
How many 20-point games did KPJ have this playoff?
This
He was in the
playoffs,
playoffs. He was
probably
in the
like
playoffs.
2. I think he had like one,
That nigga was
I think.
horrible. He was horrible when
Yeah,
playing
but you
no
playing with
defense.
Giannis. You look at the team and the coach. You got
What?
Ty Lue
See
Senior
now,
over there.
now,
What are you
now,
talking about?
see
Bro, the
now,
players are
I
garbage, bro. They didn't
yeah,
feature
He was
Kevin
the
Porter
easiest
Jr.
shots
as
that
they
he
didn't
ever
feature
got.
him. They
They
didn't
was the
feature Kevin Porter
easiest
Jr.
shots
like
that
they
he
featured
ever
Drew
got.
who's
Holiday, bro.
featuring
What are you
Kevin
talking
Porter
about?
Jr.?
Nobody.
Y'all don't understand basketball, bro.
No.
I'm just saying,
You just
and he
naming
might be a good
names.
player, but I don't know what you basing that off of to say he's this offensive great talent. He's a good player. He might be a decent role player.
He
Fact of the
averaged
matter is,
20 in
fact of
Houston,
the
bro. So
fact of the
that doesn't mean
On the
nothing. You
worst
mean to
team
tell
in
me
the
he can't
league.
score? He can't
On the
average
worst
20 a
team in
game
the
if he
league.
averaged 20 a game already?
On the
That makes
worst
no
team
sense,
in the
bro.
league in horrible
that was
efficiency.
the
It
worst team in
wasn't
the
good.
league.
I
It
get
wasn't a
it,
good
but that
20.
doesn't take away from the fact that he averaged 20.
It wasn't a good
Yeah,
20. Damn near anybody can average 20 in the NBA. All
No,
those
they
niggas can
cannot.
average
No,
20.
they cannot.
If
Not
you put them on
anybody
the
can
worst
average
team in the
20.
league and give them unlimited shots, yes they can. Yes
No,
they
they can,
can.
bro. Stop it.
Just
No,
that
they can't.
Patrick,
No,
if
they
you put
cannot,
Patrick Beverly on that
bro.
Rockets team and told him go do you, he could
He doesn't
average 20.
average 20. Stop it.
He could
Patrick
average
Beverly
20.
is not averaging 20. Stop, bro.
Well,
Would you
yes he
stop with
is,
this
boy.
nonsense, bro?
And these are
I ain't gonna
NBA
say
players.
Patrick Beverly gonna average
Anybody
20
get
because he's
enough
not the
shots.
talent of a Kevin Porter,
Kevin Porter Jr. is
KPJ. But at the
6'6",
same
nigga,
time,
can
but at
shoot.
this,
He knows how to get players involved. Have you watched Kevin Porter Jr. play basketball his whole life,
Yeah,
bro?
bro,
Do you
yeah,
watch
yeah. The
college
same,
basketball?
the
Y'all
same
don't
shit
really
you,
watch
the
basketball,
same,
bro. Y'all just
the
some
same shit you
ESPN
said
guys,
about
bro.
Harden and
Come
KP
on,
can't
man.
do.
Stop it.
Bro, don't say I'm an
I watched
ESPN guy.
Kevin
Why I
Porter
know
Jr.
basketball
play
on the
his whole
inside and out.
career, bro.
I
I
literally
know
watch
exactly what
basketball
he can
all day.
provide to a
When
team, bro. What are you talking
you wrong.
about?
You don't. When you wrong, you wrong. You don't have to say nobody don't watch basketball. You just
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
wrong.
not right
exactly.
every time.
You just
Like,
wrong.
I'm for sure not
Niggas watch
right. But
basketball.
if you're saying that Kevin Porter Jr. couldn't help this Clippers team in this playoffs, you are out of your mind.
What's the name? What's the name from Houston right now? Can go get you 20 a game. But at the same time, if you
Who?
see him in these playoffs and you see him in the featured offense, he's not that guy.
Cam Whitmore can go get you 20 a game, and they
Jalen
didn't
Green can
even
go get
use
you two.
him.
Jalen Green could probably go get you 25.
Cam Whitmore didn't even play 1 minute, and he can go get 20 a game right now. They
That's
don't
the
know how to
point.
use players, bro. They don't know how to use the
No, he
players
don't.
they got.
No, Cam Whitmore don't pass the ball. Do you watch basketball? Do you
Yes,
watch
I
it?
watched it. I
That nigga,
watched
that nigga's
basketball,
the
bro.
worst. He is the
I
worst
don't
ball
care.
hog in
Did
the
Carmelo
league.
Anthony pass? Did Carmelo Anthony
He's
pass?
not Carmelo Anthony, so that's a mute
It
ass
don't matter.
question.
If you're a scorer,
And
he's a
yes,
great
Melo passed
scorer
the
of the
ball.
basketball.
No,
What are
he's
you talking
not.
about?
And
You
he's
I
think
don't
he's
not.
on
need him to go
Carmelo
pass
Anthony
the
level?
ball. Kawhi Leonard didn't need anybody else on the court to
Why are
pass.
you
You
He
saying
needed
comparing
somebody
you
to
Cam
go
saying Cam
Whitmore
Whitmore
score.
to
is on
Kawhi
Carmelo Anthony
Leonard?
level?
Why are you comparing Cam Whitmore to Kawhi Leonard and
This is what I'm
Carmelo Anthony?
comparing. I'm comparing the mentality of being a scorer, not a facilitator. You're talking
Okay, okay.
about passing. I
Now
don't care
compare the
about passing,
mentality.
bro. Who
Look,
give a
look. Now,
fuck?
now compare the mentality of being a team player. Now
You
compare
have
that.
to be. Yeah, come on, Lizzie. Come on, Lizzie. You're a little.
Compare
I respect your basketball
Cam
knowledge,
Whitmore
but you're
not
a little
playing
out of line
defense.
on this
Compare
one.
that.
If you
At
these aren't
18, you 18
these are
years old. Why ain't you playing defense?
these are role players.
can y'all give me a good reason as to why they gave up Kevin Porter Jr.?
I think because they were
I can't
searching
give you a
for
good reason for
offensive.
that.
They were searching for an offensive punch, and they thought Bogey was the answer.
Especially
I
because
didn't feel
they ain't
Bogey
even
was
They
the
paying him
didn't
answer.
right
trade.
now.
They didn't trade him for Bogey. They traded him for
Oh
Marshawn.
no,
They chose
Bochamp.
no, I'm tripping. You saw he traded. Who they traded him for?
Marshawn Beauchamp.
They traded him for what's the name? Marshawn Beaucamp, nigga, who could have helped the team. But
No, he
then
couldn't.
again, he
He
didn't even
couldn't help the team
play.
either.
You
He
didn't.
couldn't help the team either.
You traded Kevin Porter Jr. for a player that you didn't even play. So
And
you
what else?
essentially traded him for nothing, no production at all. Makes no sense.
That
They
was a
cut
one.
him,
That
man.
was a one. That was a one-on-one trade. A one. What was
Yeah,
the whole trade package?
it was Marshawn and I think for Beach, I think it was a head up. It
I
was a
think
head up
no, Patrick
or a
Baldwin
second
Jr.,
round.
right, who used to play for the Warriors, and they could have used Patrick Baldwin Jr. You gotta know the
Why do
players
you
you got
keep
on your
saying
team,
this?
bro.
Why do you keep saying this when nobody else in the league using these people either?
And that's why they're
Right.
dumb. They don't know the things that I
No,
know. They just
everybody in the
don't.
league is not dumb, bro. Stop.
Everybody, hey,
What
you
No,
did
make it to the league for a reason, bro.
BJ? What did they speak on the trade and why why they traded him?
Because they couldn't pay him next
I
year.
think KP.
You
Hey,
cut
if you
out, B.
think y'all got enough to
You
win a
cut out, BJ.
championship, then go ahead and continue with
It
that
was
losing and that
it was
mediocre
a
basketball
it
for
was
the
a money
Clippers.
move.
That's why the Clippers are the Clippers,
It was a
nigga.
money. It was a money
Period.
move.
I don't know.
Yeah, it helped them get
He's
under
a
the tag.
Well, yeah, I'm
a
about to say if
player.
they traded him for Montrezl Boat, that was beyond just straight basketball at that
How
point.
was it a money move when Kevin Porter Jr. didn't have no big ass contract because he was just suspended for a whole year from his domestic
Because
situation?
when
He had to start from ground zero, bro.
because when you in this NBA, when you over the cap by $1 million, that $1 million, that veteran contract, that can you
This is
hear
what
me?
I'm saying. Nicholas
That's speaking
Batum
facts.
makes more
That
money
wasn't a
than Kevin
basketball
Porter
move.
Jr. Patty
When
Mills
you
makes more money than Kevin Porter Jr. What are you talking about?
they
Bogdan
might have been,
Bogdanovich makes more money than Kevin Porter Jr. You could have kept Kevin Porter Jr. Let's be honest.
but KPJ costs you
Yeah, but
his
Patty Mills
contract
ain't
might
get. Yeah. Go ahead.
his contract might say $3 million, but it's really costing you like 15 to 20 million because y'all over the cap.
I don't think that makes sense.
I mean, it's the CBA. It makes sense. Every dollar you over the dollar costs you like $2 extra.
No, that's true. They tack on extra percentages when you over the cap. So I don't know the whole
So
Kevin
you mean
Porter
these owners
situation,
don't have money? You mean to tell me
but
these
I don't
owners
think
don't
Kevin
have
Porter
the
Jr. was
money to
gonna
pay
save your
luxury
team from
tax,
what
bro?
happened.
Stop it, bro.
Well, as a rich man, don't you want to maximize your profit at every chance you get?
But I'm saying, why drop Kevin Porter Jr.? Why don't
I can't tell you
somebody
that reason. I can't
right?
tell you that reason. I
That's
can't
why.
tell you that reason.
No, I can't speak to that. That was an
Yeah.
organizational thing. It could have been something beyond basketball. If they traded him for peanuts, then it was something probably beyond
I think
basketball at
didn't
that
they
point.
say he wasn't gonna be in the rotation no more because they got Bogey.
Maybe that was it. And they didn't want to pay that cost because he wasn't going to be an integral part of what they was doing. So, yeah, you have to speak to BJ on that. He's more locked into the team than I am, as far as the Clippers. So you have to speak to BJ. Maybe he got more intel on that. But
But
it,
I can agree with the dumb move.
yeah, it probably was a dumb move as far as
Hey, how did
on
Bogey
the
work
court
out for y'all?
huh?
How did Bogey work out?
Man,
Come on,
Probably the
man.
same as KPJ would have.
Bogey wasn't it, bro. I was saying
Bogey wasn't it.
since
I
he
agree.
came. He
I
wasn't
agree
it.
when they made that move. But they were searching for offense. I didn't know who else they was gonna get, who was available, who they was on the phone with, who they tried to get. But
They should
yeah,
have got Hunter from the Hawks instead of Bogey. That's what they should have got. Because
if that would have been a nice move. But
the Cavs didn't give up nothing to get Hunter.
that was crazy to me too. So some reason why these teams make these moves is sometimes beyond me.
Well, the
Uh,
Hawks did it for money. That's the same. They didn't want
yeah,
like
but I feel they could have got something more than I know they did it for money,
for
but
sure, for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's it.
They
That's this new CBA. They like sometimes they just trying to get rid of. They trying to get the less money back, so they ain't got to pay the most money out. You know
that's true.
The Hawks
They're trying
owner
to
is
free up
not trying
space.
to pay no luxury tax at all.
Because they
I
wasn't
know
winning.
that
I
for a
understand they
fact.
wasn't winning anyway, but the Clippers were contending though. So,
Yeah.
I don't understand that move
Hey, the
completely. But
Warriors was over the luxury tax too when they had Steph, KD. Steph, KD, and all of them. Remember that? We was way over the
That's a
luxury tax.
guaranteed championship. That's a guaranteed championship.
Not a guarantee though.
I mean, yeah, it's a guarantee.
yeah, they went way over the luxury cap. But the CBA I think was different back then too, though.
Yeah, it didn't cost. It wasn't penalized like
Yeah,
it is now.
since that just kicked in what this year or last year, Max.
Last year.
Yeah, that just kicked in last year with that new CBA where
Why
they
you think this?
they taxing
Well, hey,
teams. That
Phoenix,
super
hold
team
on.
shit is
Phoenix
dead.
was over the luxury cap too. Phoenix had Bill, Booker, and KD. So what we talking about? Come on, man.
And we
That
could
luxury
and we
tax shit
couldn't
don't mean nothing.
That's
And
a
then
and
hold
we
on. And
couldn't
did
do
they
and we
win?
couldn't
And did they
and
win anything?
lazy and
Okay.
we couldn't make no moves and we couldn't get nobody else, bruh.
Yep.
Yeah,
Everybody else on the
hey.
minimum. Everybody else on the
Nope.
minimum on the team.
Hey, I'm not.
Everybody
Hey,
else
they
on
had
the
enough.
minimum,
Phoenix had
huh?
enough. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not giving them niggas no pass.
They
You
did
don't
not
have
have
great
enough.
leaders.
They
That's all.
had that.
You just don't have
Hey,
great leaders. You got 3
but
Hall of
look,
Fame players on
yeah,
your
this is what
team.
I'm talking
Stop
about.
it.
This is why you need a
that
complete team in this
that's why you
NBA.
need a complete team,
This is why
Lizzie.
you
You
need a
proving the
complete
point.
team.
You
Man,
proving the
stop.
point.
You had defensive players off the bench, young cats that was ready to go.
Name them. I bet you they negative
What do you
offensively.
mean?
I bet you they negative offensively.
Ryan Dunn, he was solid.
Yeah, can't shoot a lick. Can't.
Bo
Yeah,
was solid.
came out
Bo
busting,
was solid.
came into the league busted, and then just fell off the map. I said,
Hey,
"What happened to my boy
if
jumping?"
you give the Warriors Ryan Dunn, Bo, and some of them other little young cats on that team, I guarantee you they had more production than Brandon Podziemski and the ones we got now. Bam.
I guarantee you they don't.
Because it's
Can't
about
shoot.
leadership, bro. What part that you don't understand? Player
I agree
development
with
and
Lisa to a certain
leadership. They
degree,
got
but
terrible leaders
but
on Phoenix. That's why they
I
didn't
think
win. They have
I,
terrible leaders.
I think Ryan Dunn is a good player. I think Ryan Dunn is a good player. With
He can be a good player. If you're thinking
yeah, I
Ryan
think he's
Dunn
a
is supposed to
I
be
do too.
DeAndre Hunter, then that's
No,
not who.
yeah,
Have y'all watched? Did you watch him in college? He's a defensive-minded player
he's a
who
defensive
can't give
player.
you
Yeah.
a three, who can shoot threes.
No, he
So
can't
guess
shoot
Who?
what you
threes. He
do?
can't shoot
You
threes.
play to his
He
skill
didn't shoot threes
set.
in college,
He
Lisa,
didn't shoot threes in college. He shot like
at all.
12% from three.
No, every so often he'll shoot a three. In college at Virginia, he would shoot a three, but
He
because
shot
they
like
He
don't
wasn't
allow
12%
shooting
players
from
to
threes.
three.
He
shoot
was
threes like
horrible
that.
in three.
You know
He
what
was
I'm saying?
horrible
Yes, he
from
was
three.
horrible, but he was a better 3-point shooter. Carl Anthony Towns didn't shoot threes in college either. So what are you
No, but
talking about?
Cat been a
Anthony Davis
3-point.
didn't shoot threes in college either, but they shoot them in the pros. Like, come on, man.
AD is a horrible 3-point shooter and probably
Eh,
shouldn't
eh,
shoot threes.
right. No,
Carl
yeah, you
Anthony
just can't
Towns is
assign
one of
him
the
to being
best
a three point shooter. He
one of
got
the
to
best
develop
shooters
that
in
if
the
you want to
league,
give him
bro.
that.
What are
You
you
can't
talking
just give him
about?
that, Lisa.
Yeah, Cat had
Give
touch
him
from
what?
different. Cat been a shooter
You
since high
saying
school.
Ryan Dunn is
Ryan Dunn has never
he's
been
not
a
a
shooter.
Ryan
He's never
Dunn is
been a
not a
shooter.
3-and-D.
Ryan, guess what? But what I'm saying, if he wants to stick in this league, he has to be
No
able to turn
facts.
into Bruce
Right,
Bowen.
right, right.
If he
Well,
wants to
we
stick
agree
into the
with you.
league,
We saying
because
he's not
Bruce
there
Bowen
now.
wasn't a 3-point shooter either. Bruce Bowen
Who?
shot how many? Hold on, Bruce Bowen for the Spurs. He helped them win multiple championships. Bruce Bowen at
We
Cal
don't.
State Fullerton.
We're
Hold on,
not arguing
if
that.
you know basketball,
And
hold
that's
on,
when
wait,
he
wait. Listen, let me make
that's
a
the
point,
time when he
bro.
could have a
Let me
Bruce
make
Bowen
a
out there.
point.
I said he
You
has to
have
get
to
there,
be
bro.
able to use your players. You have to develop them,
He
bro.
has to develop
Ryan
that.
Dunn can be a significant role player,
We
like
was
a
talking
Derrick
about
Jones
this
Jr.
year. We was talking
Derrick
about
Jones
this year,
Jr. turned
Lizzie.
into a 3-and-D guy, bro. He was out of the league. He was in the
Oh
G
my God!
League, bro,
Nobody's
before
saying
the
no. You
Miami
can't
Heat
turn
gave
into
him
that.
that opportunity.
PJ
But
Tucker
y'all
is a
saying
whole
that you
bunch of
didn't
players
have
that turns into
enough, though.
3-and-Ds. We're not arguing
We
that.
just seen Aaron
I
Gordon
was
go
just
from
naming players. I was
33%
just
last
naming
year to
some of the
43
players that
this
could have
year.
helped Phoenix Suns, bro. I like Iguodaro, who came from Marquette. Iguodaro was a really solid
He's
big.
just naming
He
people you
is. He gonna
know.
take, but these is rookies.
Yeah. Rookies
I
don't help
get
you
that,
win.
bro, but you can utilize the skill set, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm
Right.
They
saying. You
did.
gotta
It
be
wasn't good
you
enough.
have to have a good development system, and you have to have great leaders
Ig-
around them.
Iguodaro got
problem
promise.
is
I agree with you.
the problem is that they're in win now mode. So they don't
Right.
want to develop players right now.
Right.
They're not like OKC or like how San Antonio is, where they want to take time and develop. They just want to make a quick trade and be championship.
KD 38.
He forget.
So
You
you mean to
forgetting.
tell me that
Lizzie
KD, Booker,
forgetting
and
without
Bill
Jimmy
needed
Butler.
more?
Without Jimmy Butler, this was a
They needed
playing team.
more? Come
If
on,
They
that,
didn't
bro.
need Bradley Bill. Yes,
they
they
was
didn't
out
need
the
Bad
playoffs
Bradley Bill.
before.
coaching. That's just
With
hold the
Pod
players
starting,
accountable.
hold on.
Guess
With
what?
Pod
Guess what?
starting and all these cats starting,
KD,
there was a playing team.
KD, Bradley Bill, and Devin Booker didn't play no defense. I watched the whole season. They didn't get no
Agree.
effort at all. Period.
Agree.
So that's why your
Agree.
season is what it is, bro.
I
Like you
agree
can't
with you.
expect those are players that need other great players to carry them. But if we're gonna put them in Hall of Fame status, if KD gonna be a 2-time Finals MVP and a 5-time Olympic champion, nigga, I need you to be better. Period.
KD was damn
Right.
good this year.
I agree with you. That's why
KD was
role players
damn
are
good this year.
important.
You said KD was what?
Damn good this year.
He was?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Where KD at right now?
Offensively, but
Come on,
defensively,
man.
I disagree,
Niggas
man.
keep talking this offensive shit, bro. I don't
That
want to hear
don't mean he
another
gonna do it.
offensive nothing, bro. I don't want to hear offense anymore, bro. The game is
Yeah,
bigger than offense. Stop.
I agree. I agree with that.
Do you want
I
to be a
agree with that.
winner? Do you want to be a fucking winner? That's all we want to ask you. Do you want to be a winner? I want to know, do you want to be a winner?
Yeah, you know what you need to win? A complete team.
No,
I
you
agree with
just need
that
to
too.
have heart. You need to have
No, you need a complete.
accountability.
Man,
You
that
need
shit don't
heart and
matter, bro.
accountability, which
How much
KD
heart?
don't got.
How much heart and
Right.
accountability Kawhi got? And where he
KD
at
picked
right
his
now?
teams. KD picked his teams. That's on
How
him.
much
He
heart?
picked all the teams.
Kawhi did
After
too.
Steph, he picked his
Here we go
teams.
with the narrative talk.
I
Here we
know
go.
this straight
Epic
narrative
failure.
talk.
Epic failure. I'm just saying, epic failure. Epic failure.
Let me go to Monty real quick. Oh, Monty, I think he dropped out.
It's that dumb shit here when Lizzie get on. Lizzie,
No,
come on, bro.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm just not gonna cap. That's all.
No,
Wait,
you're not
okay,
keeping it because you
bro.
don't think you need a
Oh
complete
man,
team. Who are your contenders right now in the NBA?
They in the playoffs right now. All the teams that's in the playoffs are contenders, bro.
is Cleveland a complete team? team?
Cleveland a complete team.
Yes.
Is OKC a complete team?
But hold on. Let me say this though. Was Cleveland a complete team last year? Yes. They changed their coach. Guess what?
Okay.
They
So
have a
that
little bit
matters. So
more
you proving a
experience, but
point.
hold on. But guess
So
what?
no, hold on, hold on, hold
The
on, hold on,
players are
hold on.
accountable this season.
You
It's a
proving
difference.
Well,
our
they
They're
got hurt.
point.
accountable this
They got
season.
hurt. They got hurt last year. They won a complete team in the playoffs. So
Who got hurt last year in
But
the playoffs?
again, he
Mitchell,
proving
I
up
mean,
there. But man, Max, that
Donovan.
don't matter. They was better this year, right?
No. Who got
Yeah.
hurt? I just want to know because last
Why
year
was they better this year?
they had different teams. They had
Are they
Karis
better?
LeVert.
Are
They
they
had
better?
Karis LeVert and they had Georges Niang.
Jared
So
Allen got
Right.
hurt,
Jared Allen got hurt.
and
Okay.
D Mitch got hurt.
D Mitchell
Are
got
they
hurt. No,
better?
D Mitchell didn't get hurt. Stop it.
Yes, he did. You know,
That
guard.
man
One of
sat
them.
out. He sat out. He didn't get hurt. He wasn't hurt.
Okay, he got hurt.
Stop.
Shut out. It don't matter.
Stop
He won
giving
a
these
complete
niggas
team. He
passes,
won one.
bro, for ducking the
It don't
smoke.
matter. I'm not giving him a pass. He won there, so it don't matter what he did. He won there. They won a complete team.
Okay, he wasn't there for one game. All right, gotcha.
And
Let me go to Bruce
they
real
lost to
quick.
a complete team. Boston
What's good,
Celtics.
Bruce?
What's up,
That's
BJ? What's
facts.
up, everybody? Hope you guys are good.
Boston down 0-2 with a complete team. Stop it.
Hope you guys are.
Versus a complete team. Like what? You agreeing with us? But go ahead, Bruce. My fault.
Hold on,
Obviously, you
Bruce,
guys.
real quick. Hold on, Bruce. My fault. I don't mean to interrupt you, my guy. Hey, who does they have coming off the bench for New York? That's not a complete team. Stop it.
Campaign and what's the name? They got 7 guys. That's what you need. They got 8 guys now. Mitchell Robinson back. That's what you need. Like I said.
Hey, Tibbs ain't playing no bench players no way. But go ahead, Bruce.
Everybody's good now. Nothing to add. Everybody's good.
Hold on, Bruce. Now I'm just playing. Go.
Uh, I don't have a lot of things to say. I think Kawhi deserves some blame. I don't really blame him. The way the team was playing, the team needed James Harden to score. That's the way the system was. So Kawhi deserves some blame. I mean, he's supposed to be the superstar, but I don't think it's the same Kawhi. I think he deserves like 35, 45, maybe 50%. I don't know. But when you have a coach who does not make adjustments, he's a clapper and doesn't do anything. When you have Joker as the point guard, a quitter. I mean, when you have a 6 man trying to pass out as a starter, I mean, I don't think you're gonna win. I mean, when you overvalue your team, overestimate your team every year, with some Clippers fans saying championship every year, I mean, you're not gonna win. So to me, Kawhi, I said it so many times. I don't think he should be the bus driver anymore. I mean, he's gonna be there if the bus driver is tired. I
I
mean,
agree.
he can drive a couple of days or a couple of hours, but I don't think he can drive the whole school season. So I don't. He's paying me to say this. Kawhi is like a playoff. He's like a cheat code in a playoff. I don't think he's there. He should be the number one on the team. It's not his fault. It's his genetics. His leg is not good. So, and I don't think this team is gonna win because it's gonna be the same formula. They're gonna try to do the same formula, and you're still gonna fail. James Harden's gonna be back. Ty Lue is gonna be back, and we're gonna still have the same result. First round championship, second round exit, or maybe second round championship. I don't know, but Clipper. If people are getting tattoos for Clipper championship or betting for Clipper championship, save your money. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate that. Let me go to my man Monty. What's good, Monty?
What's up, BJ? What's up to the panel, man? What's up to the chat? Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share to the Pull Up to the Crunch Time podcast, man. Man, y'all can't. I mean, you could definitely put, some of the blame on Kawhi for, I mean, you can't really blame a player for being injured, but he did miss a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? But y'all was in a good position for him to come back and take y'all somewhere. I felt like he played well in the playoffs. So Kawhi, I don't think he still can be in a first option in a specific situation. You know what I'm saying? With the team that Lawrence Frank put around him, no. The blame go to Lawrence Frank and the blame go to Tyronn Lue. And it go to James Harden, point blank. Kawhi shouldn't get no blame. He did what he could coming back off an injury. And if Clippers fans ain't really watched the Clippers, he elevated the Clippers and got y'all to the fifth seed. I think y'all was in the play-in for the most of the year under James Harden, right? Everybody keeps screaming James Harden this. He's a bum. You know what I'm saying? He had 13 assists with 7 points in the game seven. So the Clippers need to focus on getting a solidified second option. You know what I'm saying? A power forward and a backup big man for Zoo. Those should be the options. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all need to decide if y'all gonna keep Tyronn Lue. That's it. But do Kawhi need the blame? No. He played wonderful against the Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? We won 7 games with y'all. Kawhi had his way. Nobody else played with him in the game seven. You know what I'm saying? They need to put some respect on his name. But at the end of the day, I do hold players accountable for being healthy. So that's the only blame I give him for real. He wasn't there for the whole season. But at the end of the day, y'all was in a position to be in the playoffs, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't get it done. But I ain't gonna put the blame on Kawhi. Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that. That's not like that.
If Kawhi doesn't get any blame, Clippers in trouble.
Nah, I say he get blamed for not being healthy. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, but he came back. He played 37 games. So you feel what I'm saying? You only could do what you could do. He still was dealing with that injury from last year. But you feel me? That's that's
But
our
but the
franchise player.
but the way most people, the way I talk about Kawhi, the way a lot of people talk about Kawhi, it should be as much you're gonna take the credit if the team win, you have to take the blame too when the team fail. You cannot take the credit only. You have to be there for the when the team is failing too. You have to be responsible.
I mean, Kawhi was pretty much responsible. You know what I'm saying? He didn't like the way the Clippers lost. It was one person that ran away from interviews, and that was James Harden. He ran away from exit interviews and all that. So I think Kawhi, he take his part of ownership. He came to play. You feel me? Everybody else gotta take their ownership. You can't blame everything on Kawhi, man. You can't do
I
that.
was listening earlier and I heard BJ talking about it. Jokic then is not having a really good playoff. He has a couple of games really well, but Westbrook, Gordon is surprising me this playoff. These guys,
I mean,
Westbrook, Gordon.
Jokic hasn't had a good playoffs. I'm gonna be honest, and because I'm a Nuggets, he hasn't had a good playoff. He's only had one good game, the 40 and 20 game. So you feel me? So he got a good team around him, man, and they
And that's
picking
what the
him up.
Clippers need.
That's
Kawhi
it.
needs good teammates, and that's why Westbrook should have been on the Clippers.
I mean, Lawrence Frank and a lot of Clippers fans ain't feel so. So you gotta take what you can get. You wanted Chris Dunn, you got him. You know what I'm saying? You wanted James Harden, you wanted him to be the system and all that. You got him. Like that's just what it is, bro. And this will come with it. You feel me? That's just how I see it, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? The team that they thought they put together this season, it wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? But they played to a better standard than what everybody thought. And that's why you gotta give them credit. You gotta give them credit. But Jokic, BJ right, Jokic ain't been playing well, bro. He's been playing terrible. He was 0 for 11 from three last night. Like, what the
Oh, for
fuck?
11. Dang, I didn't even
From
know that.
three. Yeah. He had 8 turnovers last night. He had 8 turnovers.
That's what
Yikes.
I'm talking about. Denver has a complete team. They got 4, 5, 6 guys who on night can give you 20, and on a lot of nights, multiple guys give you 20, 25 plus. So, I mean, with the scope of the league right now, you gotta have you gotta have some dogs on your team, and you gotta have players who are not one dimensional. teams scout for that now. That's why, like with the Lakers, when they played against the Lakers last couple of years, they leaving Jared Vanderbilt wide open. They playing right into their hands when they play Vanderbilt. Yeah, he's good on defense, but on offense, he's giving you nothing. Good offense beat good defense any day of the week. So you gotta have guys who can contribute on both ends.
I
Because
mean,
if
yeah, you definitely gotta have, guys that contribute on both ends. But if it's good offense and good defense, is you matching each other. If a team is playing great defense, you gotta be great offensively to even get over that hump. And that's what OKC problem was last night. They thought that offense was going, you know what I'm saying? They thought they was gonna be able to do what they did in game two, and it don't work like that, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, we play defense in the playoffs, man. You gotta match up. Have to have the players that play both hands though. But you can't get away with it if you got a team that's just an offensive side like James Harden. Y'all gotta put more defensive players around him. That's the only way it's gonna work.
And the Nuggets, they love and they respect each other. I don't think the Clippers love and respect each other. I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't think
yeah,
Kawhi
it's
respect the Harden or whatever.
it's a lot of passion with the Nuggets. That's all you see. You see a lot of, you know what I'm saying? They fighting for each other. They want to win. You see it. They coach allowing other players to coach, and the other players that if they see some Jokic, Westbrook, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all right. Tyronn Lue not gonna allow no shit like that. He ain't even allowing Brian Shaw to tell him what to do.
what do y'all rank this Clippers roster from top to bottom compared to all the other rosters since Kawhi's been with the Clippers?
The worst one.
Yeah, this probably the worst move since the while. The Clippers. Yo, anybody up here? Y'all good? Easy, man. What's up, y'all?
I think they fell asleep, bro.
What's good, bro? I'm here. I'm just doing some cleaning and shit around the house. I'll just let y'all cook.
Nah, you good. Love, bro.
Yeah, hey, that's a good win though, bro. Y'all did y'all thing, y'all. Hey, what's the name? Role players really picking him up, bro. Making winning plays down the stretch of these games. In the first half and in the second half for both series. It's the role players that's carrying these superstar players in these playoffs. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? The role players are coming through. Real talk. So salute to the role players, bro. Stepping up. If you want to win a championship, you got to get production from the, you know what I'm saying, from that unknown, that one person you might consider a question mark. They got to step up. That's what the playoffs is about, bro. And then let your star players carry you, you know what I'm saying, to the finish line after that. But Denver got a really good team. Like everybody keeps saying it, oh, they're this and this. If you look at how their roster is constructed, they got winners, they got dogs. So they got motherfuckers to pick up the Joker. And that's how you win. You know what I'm saying? If you relying on the Joker to win these games, then they're gonna get bounced out the playoffs. But when you get the Aaron Gordons and the Watsons making big defensive plays and Christian Brown and Russell Westbrook stepping up, and then Jamal Murray as your sidekick, if you want to call it that, that equals winning, bro. Period. So we'll see how far they can go.
Yeah,
And
man.
Michael Porter Jr. not crying. Michael Porter Jr. got one shoulder, I guess, because sometimes he says he hurt, then another time he up in there stretching it all the way up. So, but he producing, like, you know what I'm saying. So when you get players that want to just play basketball and give their all and don't care about all the other stuff of the game, bro, them are the teams that win, bro. There's too many players that care about all the fame and all the popularity and all the social media stuff. Nah, they just want to go out there and hoop, and they're gonna do whatever they need to do to help the team win.
That's
Them
a
the
fact,
players that I
Leezy.
want on my
Yeah,
team.
Leezy not lying. Leezy not lying. My only thing is I need my star player, Leezy, to be a star, bro, superstar, and do super things. And everything ain't gotta go his
Exactly.
way, bro. Everything don't have to go your way for you to compete and win ball games. That's why you're a superstar. And I'm gonna keep saying that, bro. And I'm gonna harp on it. I'm not lowering my bar, my standard. So superstars do super things, and hey, it is what it is, bro. Get me to the fourth quarter and let me just do what I do, which is making plays, defending, scoring, whatever is needed in the moment. Then that's what you do. And so I think the Clippers, BJ asked the beat writer Law, did he feel like ownership feel like they had enough to get it done? He says it's hard to answer that question. He answered it, but I forgot what he said. But I mean, when you really assess their lineup, you got Zubac, you got Kawhi, you got a decent scorer in Norman Powell, who some would say who was above decent scorer. You got a facilitator in James Harden, who's a turnover machine, which I agree. And you got guys around them who are role players who are going to be inconsistent because that's why they're role players. Some nights Dunn and DJ are going to knock down shots. Some nights they're going to miss 4 or 5, 6 shots in a row. It just is what it is. But when those nights happen, Leezy, that's where your star players, superstar, has to understand the moment and be like, okay, you know what? This game, my team needs me to do this, right? Because, Leezy, there are games where, Steph would gauge it, right? Okay, today, KD got it going. Clay got it going. Wiggins got it going, right? I can play second fiddle today because they got it going and I can do other things. But you have to be aware of the game and then adjust according to what's happening in the game. Like every game doesn't call for James Harden to score 30 points. Game 7 did, bro. The offense was struggling. You needed Kawhi and James to roll back the clock. And I don't care if they both shot the ball 30 times. Just
Right.
they needed points that
Just
game.
like yesterday, I needed 35 from Jim. The other day, I needed 35 from Jimmy Butler and 25 from
Facts.
Kuminga. I almost got my 25 from Kuminga, which I know he's capable of doing every fucking night, but we got a dumb coach.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Butler, too passive. So if you came over here to pass the ball to garbage players that's beneath you, then you ain't gonna win no championship. I need you to go get 35, bro. Period.
Right. Because that's what the game calls for. And so
That's what the game called for the other night with Steph out. Steph scored 37 when Jimmy Butler was out. You gotta repay him, bro. Period.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. Yeah. So, I mean, I know I'm coming down probably hard on Kawhi, and I give him 50%, and I keep using superstar, do super things, but that's just a standard that I have, bro. And it's funny how.
Yeah, but I'm just replaying his career, bro. Kawhi Leonard has never been that player. And that's why I'm saying James Harden was supposed to be the security blanket for Kawhi, because now this is really looking bad on Kawhi Leonard as a whole, because now it's just like, well, why James Harden? Where was his leadership? You feel what I'm saying? We could point to other areas where Kawhi could have got more from his teammates. But that's not who Kawhi is, bro. Look at the rosters he's been on that has success in the postseason. Veterans,
right,
star players. Like, you feel me? Come on, man.
Yeah. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like we can't dissolve certain guys because we like them. We just got to call a spade a spade. And hey, just like we say, Lazy LeBron and Luka wasn't good enough when it mattered the most.
Right. Coaching matters too, bro. So if you don't have
yeah,
nobody holding Luka accountable and LeBron,
right.
guess what? They're gonna get bounced
Yeah.
out of the playoffs.
That's a fact too,
Period.
bro. Yep. And you know what? Speaking of that, we got to get on. Well, I mean, I give Ty Lue a lot of blame as well. His combinations at times, just like for example, right? Game 6, I think the Clippers won Game 6, right? And I thought Batum was great in Game 6, right? You ride that high, bro. Like why? I mean, I know I think he went with Derrick Jones Jr. and Derrick made some shots, but I don't know. I mean, I would have went more with the veteran guy in the Game 7, a guy who's been playing good ball on both ends of the court. But Ty gets some blame too, bro. Yeah, Ty gets some blame.
Yeah.
A lot of blame too.
Ty,
A lot of blame, bro.
Ty, like he likes to try to play chess too much and play mind games, and I feel like he always likes to play the long game. Like, oh, I'm just wait. We're waiting on this. We're waiting on this. Later on, it's gonna be a long series. This series could have been over in 5 or 6 games, to be honest.
Easy. The Clippers could have easily won this series. Easy. Because y'all had the Joker locked up, to be honest with you. Keep that 100 with you.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. The Clippers could have had this.
But then again, guess what?
Yeah,
James Harden, Ty Lue, Kawhi Leonard. And that's what, hey, we put the blame on them. Each one of them get a different percentage, but at the end of the day, they're the main people that you look at.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah. That's a good point, bro. Yeah. So I don't know where they go from here, bro. I mean, they're in a tough spot. I don't know what moves they can make. They're just in a tough spot, and I don't think the Clippers can compete for a championship anytime soon. But it's just my opinion. Because to get somebody over here to start your franchise over, they're gonna want Zubac, bro. And I'm not giving them Zubac. I think Zubac is the 4th, 5th best center in the league. I can argue number 3. Just pure impact. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why this year and last year was so important to like win. And the window's closed, bro. In my opinion, Steph. I think the window's closed, and yeah, it ain't opening up anytime soon.
Nah, I can agree with that.
And we got to come to realistic with that, bro.
Because you know what? Kawhi Leonard going into this offseason with no real major injuries. He's going to have a whole season of rehab, and he's going to come back next year and play at least 60 games, barring if anything happened between now and that time. But I think that all you got to do, really, you got to come up off of James Harden. Or you got to sign, you got to go see if Kuminga available. I'm just saying, bro. Kuminga will go out on the square. I'm telling you.
James got that player option, so he going to opt in more than likely. And then you're
right.
Yeah,
because you want to stay in L.A. That's why.
Yeah, and then the Clippers just have
But you change coaches, though. If you sign James Harden, you for sure say, okay, Van Gundy, you leave this team. Because Van Gundy going to say, James Harden, sit your ass on the bench.
Or Brian Shaw.
You ain't doing that shit on my team, period.
Yeah, or Brian Shaw. Shit, for that matter, Brian Shaw. But Leezy, why are you so confident in Kawhi to come back next year and be that guy? I'm not saying he can't be good and great in spots, but I think the expectation of that, we need to tip that down now, bro. Like, I don't think he's ever going to get back to that level. To where...
Well, shit, Kawhi Leonard was great. To be honest, bro, Kawhi Leonard, into contrary what anybody else's think, what I see, Kawhi Leonard still Kawhi Leonard. You got to put those other guys around him so he can just show you the Kawhi Leonard that everybody has grown accustomed to. If you're thinking he's going to turn into Kobe and lead a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, regular FedEx motherfuckers to the championship, you're not getting that. I'm just saying.
He ain't got regular FedEx guys, though, bro. He got Zubac, Powell. I mean, like he has help. He got guys around him.
Yeah.
He does.
But yeah, he got the guys around him, bro, but his leadership is a different type of leadership, bro. He's not going to get at people. You seen Kobe getting Pau Gasol face. You seen him getting his player's face to where he had to, like, hem him up, slap him up. You seen Steph Curry yell at motherfuckers when he really get mad. You seen him yell at people. You seen Draymond yell at people. Come on, buddy, what are you doing? You seen Jimmy Butler do that. You have to have that type of guy on your team, and the Clippers have not one of those guys. They traded Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was that guy. Period. I would have re-signed Russell Westbrook. You get the credit for the juniors and the Alabama's, and you run it with that squad and Kai Jones, in my opinion. I think they would have had better success, bro. In my opinion.
You think so?
They need a
I know so. Because you gotta have one of them guys, man.
they need
You gotta have one of them guys. I'm just saying.
they need another guy who James Harden can defer to. So he
Defer to.
yes. he needs to be like James Harden needs to be like if they're gonna be serious contenders, James Harden needs to be like the third or fourth option.
He don't know what deferment is, bro. I mean, at this point, he don't know what that is.
And that's why I say you got to come up off of Harden, bro.
Yeah,
if you think you're gonna win a championship with dude, then you
I look at
mistaken,
what
bro.
he was doing in Brooklyn.
This ain't Brooklyn, bro. This ain't Brooklyn.
Trash.
Right?
Yeah, he was trash in Brooklyn.
Yeah, this ain't
Remember
Brooklyn.
he had that hamstring injury and he tried to, like, you know what I'm saying? He really hurt the team by trying to play on a bad hamstring.
Yeah, versus the Bucks. Yeah, he came back versus the Bucks. Yeah, game 3 or 4. Yeah. Nah, bro. This ain't Brooklyn, bro. Like, this is the Clippers. I mean, let's assess what he's doing on this roster. Like,
the common denominator, these players, bro, KD, you look at certain players, bro, and you be like, damn, how great are you really? We're giving you everything that you asked for. Go get it done. Can you get it done? I just want you to get it done. That's it.
We're giving them everything, Leezy. Everything, bro.
Oh, I want to go play with Kyrie. Oh, I want James Harden over there. Oh, I want this. I want that. Okay, why are you not getting it done? Oh, it's Steve Nash's fault. I'm like, nigga, go be great. Why is it Steve Nash's fault? You playing?
I'm about to get out of there, man. But I wish all you guys' mothers, happy Mother's Day, man. Enjoy your day. And,
hey, salute. Same to you, man. Salute to all the mothers out there, bro. Happy Mother's Day. Appreciate y'all, bro.
Enjoy the game today, man. Yeah,
For sure.
Fire. All right,
yes, sir. Y'all have a blessed one.
Yes, sir.
Y'all too.
Yes, sir.